Cool. Let me mute that one on up. Let me test this. Well, how does that look? You're not moving at all. You should be moving. Great. I've got people looking and they can't even see my counter update in real time. James, please, don't laugh at me. I wonder why OBS always plays so poorly with Firefox. I'm guessing there's no point in keeping that up then. See if I can just edit this. Alright, what if I, plain old delete it? And then add it back? It still doesn't show it move. Well, whatever. You'll just have to take my word for it that, I'm making the Thundurus number go up. I know there's, like, some sort of, like, actual program that does it, but, you know, this was a really off-the-cuff stream. I want to get this damn Thundurus, man. Alright, so the way I have it set up to work is originally I was going to record this from thank you, I worked very hard on finding a template that someone else uploaded. I put my own touches onto it. This isn't all just me yoinking a PNG off of Google. But the way this works is I originally had this set up to record off of my 3DS, and that has always been a bit of a pain in the dick. And it ended up freezing right before the stream started, so I had to get my save file off the 3DS, throw it onto Citra, and we'll be moving from there. But I have not touched anything in Citra. There's no speed hacks going on besides a little, like, the intro goes a little faster than usual. So I'm saving like a millisecond off of clicking at frame 1 like I always do. So no speed hacks, no shiny hacks. We're starting at 1700, and I will say aloud every 10 or so what we're on. So, let's begin. Look. It is me. I forgot that you could spin in this game. I never end up doing it. Can I put it back when I find it? Yes, I can grab it. I'll just take the save file, because this is my save file exactly as I was using it last night. I will just take it and put it onto my 3DS, and the Thundurus will be entirely legit. Assuming I get one in the stream, because we are at 7th. The odds are 1 in 1365, and I am at... Oh no, I messed up. I'm sorry. I'm not even at 1700. I'm at 1800. So, by now I have had a 73% chance... 73.25% chance to have found a shiny Thundurus by now. Let's get going. See, now you can see that it's, and that's how fast it goes, but it's also this fast on a regular 3DS, so pretty neat. This is exactly how I've been hunting it. Yeah, just for some reason, the intro is a little speedy, but I hit that about as frame 1 fast. If it was that immediately, I would have screamed. I think the only issue I'm having here is, I have it set up on a second monitor because I was going to record that way. But, I have to, like, tap off, hit the +1, then tap on to actually hit the F6 to reload the emulator. So if anything, this is more inputs than hunting it on a 3DS. This is, Yeah, I remember being super excited when, I was doing Ultra Wormhole, not Ultra Wormholes, the, Hoopa Holes in, Omega Ruby, and, like, they would, like, actually, like, play just, like, the straight-up original tunes. Like, finding the legendary beasts and the tune from Crystal would play. I'd be like, oh my gosh! Like, not even the remix from Heart Gold or a new remix, it's like, this is just the original beast. This is as God intended. Also, let me know if this is, too loud at all, because Lunala is, smashing my eardrums into a bloody paste, so I'm hoping it's not doing the same to you. Here, I'll do it like, all the other shiny hunters do, and, like, put on really obnoxious, like, techno. Alright, we are up to 1810. What do you mean this isn't RuneScape? This is honest to God the gameplay of RuneScape. Of just doing the exact same shit repeatedly over and over and over again. That's part of why I'm supposed to stream this week, but I got so into RuneScape, I've been playing it like 6-7 hours a night. And, like, not streaming because of it. I just got, like, really, really addicted to RuneScape again this week. So, that has been part of the issue. Now, this is how to make money in RuneScape really fast. If you shiny hunt Thundurus, that's like 1,000,000 gold an hour. Trust me, I wouldn't lie to you. Yeah, I'll make this a fun little podcast for other people to enjoy while they do their gaming. RuneScape isn't even that old. It's like, well... It originated in 2001. Though this style of graphic is more from 2000. It's the one I play. Its graphical style is like a hodgepodge of like 2004 up to like 2018. Yeah, everyone shiny hunt. Well, let's see who can get a shiny first. And that means you, Eevee. I better see a shiny Soth by Night's End. I was about to say, like, I want to get this one done and dusted so I can get to the Shaman hunt, which is going to be so much worse. There are shinies in Mystery Dungeon, you can do it. Well, it depends on the Mystery Dungeon, I guess. Yeah, see, Mega Buster Eevee is RuneScape. You can play RuneScape on Mega Buster on anyone born in 2001. It's kind of like how you can run Doom on a baby monitor. Alright, with this, we are up to 1820. Nope. Thundurus appeared. I'll just pull for Soth and... Oh, let me show you what my plan is here, by the way. So Marshadow is my false wiper, obviously. Well, I say obviously, there's nothing obvious about it. I just like Marshadow, so I thought I'd false wipe. And then the plan is with Sleepy Sherry here, once it's down to 1 HP from false wiping, I'm going to Spore it, then attract it, then double team a few times so it misses, so I don't have to worry about my HP. But between Spore and Attract, Spore is obviously going to help with capturing it, and Attract will help make it so its PP lasts longer by wasting its turns. So that way I don't have to worry too much about failing this, because I want to catch it in a proper ball. Like, I'm not just going to throw a Master Ball at this the second it pops up. Oh yeah, you can't see the bottom screen, huh? Whoops. This is gonna be the one, guys. Here it comes. Okay. I really thought about doing, like, Trick Lepaberry, like, getting, like, a Smurgle set up, and having all that, and also Trick Lepaberry with, like, Refresh. No, I'm sorry, Recycle. Like the Fun Bro strats. But I don't want to have to fuck with PKX anymore. If it gets to a point where I'm legitimately worried that, it's just going to struggle itself to death, I'll just Master Ball it. Master Ball kind of looks good on Shiny Thundurus. Like, I wouldn't be upset. It's not what I'm going for first. You know, it was actually, like, funny with the Rotom deck saying things at the bottom of the screen. Like, even after, like, 1800 resets, there's still ones that pop up that I've never seen before. If anything, some of these feel like they're rarer than shinies. Well, no, because I want to do it legit. I'm going to do it as legitimately as I can. Because otherwise, I would just slam on the, If I was going to save state, I would also just slam on a speed hack and just get way more encounters in. The sole reason I'm doing this on emulator right now is just because it was too much of a pain to get 3DS recording going. I did this with Zekrom, I can do it with this guy. And we're up to 1830. I have to let it sit for a second, because if I hit F6 and accidentally soft reset over a shiny, I'm going to scream, and then I'm going to die. Yeah, it's like, the Rotom Dex does cool things, it's just, every time I open up my thing, it's like, now I just can't see my minimap for a while. Maybe if you could speed it up or skip through the text, but they were so spooked about Yokai Watch that poor Whisper Dex here didn't get the love that it maybe deserved. For a while I thought, maybe, I was worried for a second that I might have, like, bugged it out, like the shiny couldn't be encountered because I turned the, flag back on. I'm like, oh, what if it's just constantly checking for the regular one? And I realized that I'm just being stupid, and all things considered, me being at 1835 here technically isn't that dry. It's just, like, I think it now, like, when I was shiny hunting Zekrom in the same way, I got it in 592 resets, so I think I kind of set myself up for thinking, like, oh yeah, that'll be wave. This'll be fast. And now I'm sitting realizing that 1 in 1365 odds is still pretty decent odds. Just because it's 3 times more common than usual doesn't mean it's common. Oops. Did I just... Oh wow, F5 completely kills it. How about that? I meant to hit F6 and I hit F5. Whoops. You know, I'm just, in general, I was worried that me messing with something might have prevented it, but I think I'm just spooking myself for nothing. I'm just hitting a bit of a dry streak. It's like, wow, I've talked about Poké Farm in every single stream, but like in that one they have another feature where instead of just being shiny, Pokemon can be albino, and they're also rare. But then if you roll a shiny and an albino at the exact same time, it's a melanistic Pokemon. And I think I went, like, way over odds for a melanistic Slugma before I quit, too, so... I went super over odds for Scraggy. Like, they have the shiny rate set at, like... At where I was at, it was about 1 in 400, and I didn't get a shiny Scraggy until 1,805x. So, I'm no stranger to going way the fuck over odds. Oh, by the way, we're at 1843. Yeah, like, didn't they determine recently that, like, the way we thought it worked in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee was wrong, and technically everyone was shiny hunting at way higher odds than they realized? And it was just everyone finding more shinies was just a thing, just mostly because there was so much on screen at once that you were just more likely to find a shiny, in general. Like that damn Bellsprout that took me, like, 4 streams. Like, yeah, no shit, I was technically doing that at full odds. So I went to Aldi's today, because I needed to do some vegetable shopping, and Aldi's has very, very cheap vegetables. And, they had, like, an energy drink section. And, I found an energy drink that was 80 cents and has, like, only 30 calories. So I'm thinking that when I crack this open and drink it, it's either going to taste like shit or immediately explode my heart. So let's take a look at how this pans out. Smells really good. Tastes great, so my heart will probably explode halfway through this stream. So if you hear me go and die, I either found the shiny Thundurus, or my heart exploded from this 80-cent energy drink. When energy drinks are usually like... Energy drinks are expensive. Yeah, I remember I knew someone in my raid group who was shiny hunting Slowpoke. And he was hunting it the way that now we know it works. And I was like, no, you don't have to do that. As long as you get your catch combo up to 31, it works. And I think I probably just cost that guy, like, an extra week of his life. Sorry, buddy. You have never once done me wrong, so I can't even say that it was a payback for something. Yeah, Epic, you can have, if I die before I get the shiny, you can have my file and finish the hunt for me. I was gonna go back and do more Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and, like, shiny hunt Mewtwo there. But, it sucks that the Switch Pokemon games, you can't soft reset. You just have to totally reset and go back to the main menu. There's actually something I think I need to test here before I keep going. Okay. Before I continue, I'm going to kill Citra real quick. Then I'm going to go into configuration. System clock, offset time, that doesn't matter. Okay. Okay, so I had it set on fixed time before, and I don't know if that's going to have had any deleterious effects. So, I don't know how the RNG is going to pan out. But, the system clock is now moving again, so we shall see. Oh man, congrats! Noibat is a really pretty shiny. I was super happy when I got one. I'm gonna burp really loud. Well, that was a little disappointing, wasn't it? See, I think giving the Roserade only one move was smart. Because it might as well just spam its most powerful move, because the AI is not going to be smart enough to do anything else with it, so you might as well just limit itself to only being good at one thing. If anything, I think it makes it a little more threatening. It just looks stupid when you look at it on a wiki. That's a great idea, James. I should do that. Alright, let's... Actually, I wonder if we could do it even simpler than that. Alright, so that was about half its HP. We'll hit the next one and then see how much more damage it does. Because if it's like a big difference, then it's rolling a new stat in nature. So I won't have to bother with getting out of the Ultra Wormhole, and we'll see how this pans out. That looked a little similar, didn't it? Yeah, let's just make this easy. I think I have a gap in my party open. I should kill it for better luck. You're right, I should. Oh, and I can just see its summary right here. What am I thinking? I don't have to bother with all this. Alright, let's see. So this is naughty. Let's go with a... let's see, 170 attack for its baseline. Let's see how this pans out. Jesus. The Ultra Beast being entirely full odds in this one spooks me. It's like, that's too much of a hunt. Guzzlord is like the only thing I think I would even bother doing that for. Well, maybe Pheromosa. Pheromosa has a nice looking shiny. Thank you, Eevee. That's very useful. Alright, let's take a look, say. Nope, mild in general. It's alright, it's rolling a different one each time, so we don't have to worry about that. Alright, cool. So the RNG is constantly reloading. Thank you, James. Thank you, Evie. I mean, by its nature, any Pokemon has Prankster as an ability. Oh, I feel like my heart is about to explode. Oh my god, I could feel that really fast. Oh, I don't know if I should finish this. I'm gonna set that to the side for a bit. Oh, speaking of James, you do raise an excellent point. Having to hear the same thing over and over again is probably going to get old real fast. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to mute Citra. I'm going to go on YouTube. I'm going to pull up some music. Let's see, we'll view the full playlist. Can I shuffle a playlist? I can. Let me know how loud that is or isn't. Because, it's actually hard to tell because that one's not really a, that one's not particularly loud. It's a very ambient track. I'm playing the RuneScape OST now. Oh, James, the RNG is re-rolling. I was gonna check the stats, and no, it just ended up rolling two entirely separate natures, so no, the RNG is in fact refreshing each time. I don't even remember this. This is what White Wolf Mountain sounded like to me the first time I heard it. Yeah, hold on, this one isn't interesting. What's next? Ooh, dark. Can't even hear it. How about in general now? Is it better to hear? Yeah, that one just wasn't a very good track to start out with. Or we could put on the Scarlet and Violet soundtrack. I love the funky bass. Whoa! Nope. Thought that one was it. I also had Panera for dinner, because it's right next to the oldies. Cheap veggies, expensive sandwiches. What are you talking about? It's got the music right there. This is what, this is the theme of shiny hunting Thundurus is. Even though it's called Dark, and Thundurus is not dark. Alright, and with the next one, we will be up to, 1870 encounters. I would love to put on some Final Fantasy tunes, but I can't. I would love to hear that, Evie. I think I might actually be having a heart attack. My arm just started hurting. Oh my god. Is the Altius energy drink going to kill me on stream? Oh my god, like my arm actually hurts. That's not okay. I don't know what I'm going to name this Thundurus. I've been beating names around my head. And, the only one that I keep coming back to is Jake Thunder. Just because that sounds like a... It sounds like like a cop that would be on a children's TV show. It's like, hey, I'm Jake Thunder, detective. Now, I wish Square wasn't such assholes about their music copyright. Because one thing, I really want to play Theat Rhythm on stream, and that's like a great way to lose my channel immediately. I'm Jake Thunder, and you're on Disney Channel. Yeah! No. That wasn't even the Disney Channel theme. I'm not even sure what I was doing. Kids even know what the Disney Channel is nowadays? I feel like that was like a mid-2000s thing, but, kids nowadays just know TikTok, right? Summer camp, we'd always go to the beach on Thursdays, and the tide was high. The younger kids couldn't swim. I'd ferry them on my back. You're a Lapras! That's adorable. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I should not shotgun that drink. Oh my god. Alright, and the next encounter will be 1880. We'll get it one of these days, viewers. Then again, I've been doing this for weeks, so I do like usually like 100 encounters a night, sometimes 200, and one day I went 300. And not really having any luck with that. Every one Arceus I encounter 3... Multiples of it being Thundurus is absolutely stellar. I think the only similar experience I've had is, because I haven't been to the pool in a hot minute either. I don't think I've been swimming since 2018, which is a damn shame because I love swimming. Actually, I'm not going to tell that story. I miss swimming, though. I've realized that I haven't been to the beach since 2012. I really want to go back to the... Well, I was talking to Mom about this. Just like talking about like what part of the beach experience we like or dislike. And like, she prefers the boardwalk, but the boardwalk scares the ever-living shit out of me. Oh, that blows. We have, a public pool for the community. Though even like all the local high schools here open up their pools, and like you can spend like $5 a day just to go swimming at the pool or something. Now the way Shiny Vivillon works is its wings remain the same, it's just body turns white. So it's like actually not a very interesting shiny. Because I remember looking that one up. And then I thought about, like, why am I even hunting Thundurus? Because, like, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna bring it into Scarlet and Violet and use it in raids. I'm like, but everything Thundurus does, Miraidon does better. That's gonna be the sad thing about Raging Bolt, is that, like, there's no way in hell that thing outclasses Miraidon. So I just sat there and got completely, like, outclassed before it was even born. Skater Bug! She was a skater bug. She said, see you later, bug. There's a lot of music I wish I could play on stream without immediately losing my channel. We could just like sit here and like put on like an early 2000s playlist. Get some Avril Lavigne, maybe a little Fallout Boy. Should we do a I'd say we do a karaoke stream, but that means you're just listening to me sing your recommendations poorly. I don't think anyone wants that. The fuck is this? It's loud as hell is what it is. One hour. Yeah, 1 hour of silence occasionally broken by me yelling the chorus to Grand Theft Auto by Fall Out Boy. I miss hot tubs, man. Now, I was about to say, like, Maryland has some pretty famous beaches, and like, I don't live too far from the water. I have no clue why I don't go to the beach more often. Well, no, I know exactly why. It's because I don't want to deal with all that parking. I don't want to have to pay. I don't want to have to drive there. It's gonna be hot. I just want to fuck around in the water for a bit and then have someone else drive me home. That was the... I forgot to look this up. James, can you check something for me? Does Jang Moa return in SV's DLC? Because I really want to shiny hunt Jang Moa. Because I know it and Beldum are the only pseudos that didn't make it into Scarlet and Violet. And I know Beldum is coming back, but I don't know if Jang Moa is. Alright, it's coming back. Nate, good. Oh, Kamo was in the newest trailer. I don't know why I forgot that. I wish we had Kamo for the Rillaboom raids, because that thing would have been amazing for it. I remember I got a shiny Jangmo-O in, Alright, we are up to 1900. We have done 100 encounters so far. I got a shiny Jangmo-O in Poke Farm, and I named it Pink Lemonade. I think I know I traded it to Casey. They gave Kamo-O a lot of love. It got its own Z move, and I think it was like the only Pokemon that like their Z move became like just a standard move. They really gave Kamo-O a lot of love. Now, it's funny you say that, James. Though it's not Kamo-O, Jangmo-O is Sage's favorite Pokemon. And I was there when it was announced, and he was just like... He was like, oh my god, that's it. I love it. I fucking love it. And then, like, even to this day, I think I was like... We were talking during that Fire Emblem session, he was just like, yeah, no, Jangmo-O is still my favorite Pokemon. I'm like, aw. Speaking of Fire Emblem, we recorded some more. I have another episode ready to put up next week. Eevee, no. No, Bubby, we don't say that. Galarian Darmanitan Zen mode was so much fun. That being our first Ice and Fire type was a profoundly inspired choice. I'm getting off of this. I think I might put on the Scarlet and Violet soundtrack in a second. RuneScape's OST is good in context. A lot of the songs I don't know if I would listen to on my own. Except for how many of them I fucking put into Rose Gold Heart. Rose Gold Heart soundtrack is like 50% old school RuneScape, 40% Lufia The Legend Returns, and like 10% SMT4. I'm gonna delete this comment real quick. Let's not put that term out as something funny, huh? Seeing Galarian Darmanitan like have like a big role in Detective Pikachu 2 was one of those things I was just like, oh hey, of all things. ...1908. I love Galarian Darmanitan, and it helps too that it's like I already loved regular Darmanitan, and then Galarian Darmanitan is just like, okay, here's this, but also really fucking cool. Literally, it's Ice type. Yeah, I'm not sure what Detective Pikachu 2's issue was. Like, I'm not one to harp on the graphics of games, but, like, Detective Pikachu 2 is... It's ugly. Let's put it out there. That is a very ugly game. Humans look very weird. The Pokemon look great, but the humans look weird, the environments look a little bland. Like, I don't even want to say PS2, because I used to see more textures on PS2. I don't think, I never played the first one, but I don't think I'm at all interested in the second one. I think I would honestly much rather see another Detective Pikachu movie. Man, speaking of games I bought and never played, I bought Rumble Rush for the 3DS specifically so we could stream it, and then I just never got around to actually playing it or streaming it. So I need to get that on Citra and actually stream it at some point. Because I remember Rumble being fun. Was it Rumble Red? Whatever the first 3DS one was that everyone loves. Because didn't, like, Rush, like, they put one on Wii U and it was, like, really not good. No, Rumble Blast was the 3DS one. Rumble Rush was the mobile one. Yeah, the mobile one didn't last very long either. I think that was like a year before it went under. Armstrong. Get it, Lance? Name it Paul. Hi, I'm Paul. Which is a shame. I played Rumble Rush a bit, but it also coincided with when I got my job. So then I just ended up not playing it as much, so it's more focused on the job. But I wish it had a little more love. It was just kind of a little boring. And then some of the free-to-play aspects were kind of meh. I downloaded Pokemon Cafe Remix, and for some reason I wasn't expecting it to have gacha elements. And then when I got it, it's like, here's your 11 pull. I'm like, oh, I didn't think this game was gonna have pulls. I don't want that. And the way they do your daily pull, too, is a little fucked up, because like it's based on a timer and not just like a daily pull. So it's like, yeah, now you also have to kind of like time it, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep playing it. Let me fire it up and see what my first... I didn't realize it was Pokemon Wibble Wobble. I don't know what I thought the gameplay was going to be, but it wasn't that. But yeah, I figured, like, I would, like, play, like, and do my Tatsugiri. Like, do the Tatsugiri event and get Tatsugiri, and it's like, no, you have a chance, and if you get Tatsugiri, it helps you more here. And I'm like, that's stupid! Give me Tatsugiri! Alright, so let me tap to start. Let me see what my daily pull was. Oh, I just got 2,000 golden acorns. That sounds like a lot. Okay, I just got another 3,000 acorns. Oh, here, my Pelipper's back. Alright, let's... Alright, wait, I got a reward. Hold up, I'm checking Pokemon Rumble Rush. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that at all. I'm playing Cafe Remix. Alright, delivery complete! Dude, before they announced Rescue Team DX, I honestly thought we were just getting a mystery dungeon gacha beforehand. Alright, let's see what my gacha is here. What have you delivered to me, Polyper? It's... a Pachirisu. That's cute. I really like the art style here. Pachirisu looks fucking adorable. Alright, how much is an express delivery? Includes 1 extra delivery. No cost, huh? Alright, here, it gave me an 11 pull for free. Let me see what I got. A Gotharita. Gotharita has joined the staff. She's serving. I think this one's big. Oh, I got a Fuecoco! Gamers, I got a Fuecoco! Awesome. That's what I really wanted. Fuecoco has joined the staff. Buizel. Oh shit, a Stoutland. That's pretty cool. Sobble! Oh my god, he looks adorable in this art style. Hey, Pikachu! Another Oshawott. Wait, no, not another Oshawott. Hey, a Charmander. Charmander looks adorable in this art style, too. It's a lot of starters, huh? Oh, I got a gold one. What's this gonna be? What's coming out of a Great Ball? It's a Chimchar. I was hoping it was gonna be like Victini or something. Eevee, that is how jobs work. Okay, so the Fuecoco was my one ultra rare I pulled, and the Chimchar was kind of rare. Alright, how much is an express delivery? 30,000! Jesus. Alright, well, I'm up 1/5 of that. Did this roll the same one again? It just rolled the same thing again. There's 550 pieces of music in this playlist, and it just rolled the same one again. Oh no, it's just looping 5 of them for some reason. That's stupid. Yeah, no, Eevee, that's how that works. Alright, 1926. Well, if you think about it, that's kind of you should buy YouTube Premium and do a 10 pull and play. Alright, my lip is going numb. That's an interesting thing. Alright, I'm not buying this energy drink anymore. This thing's gonna kill me. No, I think, like, RuneScape 3 won, like, a Guinness, like, world record for having, like, the most amount of songs in a video game. RuneScape has an obscene amount of music. Plus, there's a special cape you get in the game for finding all of them. Which teleports you to an NPC. That sole purpose is just to have a list. So there's a thing in the game in RuneScape called Clue Scrolls, where you can randomly get them from monsters, and there's like 5 tiers of them that grant increasingly better rewards. And they take you all over the game. They give you hints on like where to find the next piece of the treasure. So it's kind of like a scavenger hunt almost. Uh, 1931. So it's like a scavenger hunt, and like it can have like anything from like 1 to like 12 steps. And then the elite and master tier ones, there's this NPC that like gives you like a hint through song, and it's usually like super rare items, but he's kind of like in a way off spot. So if you find every piece of music in the game, you get a teleport directly to him, and that's the only thing it does besides look cool. But you pretty much have to 100% the game at like find everything, do everything. Trev, we're listening to RuneScape's Monkey Madness song. So, Trev, how are you doing, buddy? I don't have much more of this energy drink left. I don't think I'm gonna die. I chose to drink it during that one, so, I could have done the funny spit take if I found the shiny there. Trev, we keep telling you, just, win $1 million and you don't have to work anymore. But going back to a way earlier conversation in this stream, yeah, it looks like no one here watched Disney Channel. Really, all I ever did with it was, I got really into it for a little, like a couple months before, Diamond and Pearl came out. I would just, like, watch it until, like, 2 in the morning while playing Pokemon Emerald to help, stave off the hype. Like, the night before Diamond and Pearl came out, I was so physically excited for it that my heart hurt. And, like, I couldn't get to sleep. I was just like, yes, yes, it's coming. It's tomorrow. Yes! Like, I could not sleep that night. I put a shitload of time into that, too. Though, even with all the time I ended up putting into that file, I've almost put more time into it with Scarlet. And then I see, like, people, like, had, like, 999, and I'm just like, how do you put that many hours into a game that isn't an MMO? Because I thought I did an absolute shitload in that game, and I only ever reached, like, 300-something hours. Oh, James, me and my mom do that, too. We entered this Powerball because, like, the winnings... Whenever the winnings get, like, over 1 billion, we play. And as evidenced by the fact that I'm streaming and not in a mansion paradise, we haven't won one yet. I was excited for Platinum, and then I played Platinum. Yeah, I'd be pretty thrilled with any lottery winnings right now. 50k could get me a house, or, well, it would at least get me part of a down payment on a house around here. Don't do that to me, Evie. Be nice to me. You think I'm not paying attention to this? I am looking solid. I'm mostly paying attention to its tail. Because its tail is like a very bright violet. Yeah, like... I think Kish, like, put something like, 4,000 hours into Alpha Sapphire. And, like, I don't know if I've put 4,000 hours into video gaming. Like, my RuneScape account, where I've put what I thought was an obscene amount of time into it, like, only broke 2,000 hours this year. Like, the amount of time Kish put into the 3DS Pokemon games, like, I think I legitimately think Kish put more time into the 3DS Pokemon games than I've put into, video gaming. They hatched eggs. They just hatched eggs and shinies, like, forever. Like, barely, like, they'd play World of Warcraft or something, and then just sit on Stoutland or whatever, and, like, walk around and hatch eggs. That was just in one game. I think, like, in Y, like, there was, like, another 2,500 hours or something. James, you just started sucking dick this year. No, you haven't. Or was it last year? Yeah, ever since James, like, met up with Rice, it's, like, just non-stop. They've breathed in more ball musk than air. Ultra Sun and Moon is where I... Trev, you have put an obscene amount of... Haven't you put, like, 10,000 hours into your 14 account? Ultra Sun and Moon is where I dropped off the Pokemon train for a while. I'm timestamping that and sending that. I'm glad you enjoyed. Yeah, pretty much everyone I know that plays 14 has dumped, like... I feel like they've put more time into 14 than my niece has put time into being alive. Yeah, no, Pokemon Sun was the last Pokemon game I bought until Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Like, I didn't... we're up to 1955, by the way. I ended up buying everything in between, but I bought them used. And, like, years later. Now, all we're hearing from this is my niece should get into Final Fantasy XIV. Be the cruelest thing I could imagine to do to her. It's like I love RuneScape and I like 14, and I can never recommend them to people like in my age group because I'm like, we should be like living our life and like working and like improving ourselves. Like we can't just sit here and drop it. I loved BDSP. Because I prefer Vanilla, Diamond, and Pearl to Platinum anyway, and BDSP kind of fixes a lot of issues I had with the Vanilla. So... It's like, woo! That was worth every goddamn penny I spent on. I've finished my energy drink. Oh no, Cameron, what's wrong? You sick? I hear suffering in bed and usually assume sickness. Or depression. 593 days. Wait, you can log on to 14 at work? Extremely stuffy, I feel that. My allergies have been kicking my ass this week. That was a really funny thing about my niece. I'll tell some niece stories. She's really funny. She's like, well, she's 4 now. Oh, you're home. You said work depression, and I wasn't sure if that meant you were at work being depressed. I only work from 10 a.m. to 7. Jesus. 9-hour days, man. First off, for some reason, my niece does not curse at all. I realize that's doesn't sound like much, but, like, our family is very fast and loose with swear words. So the fact that she has never really sworn ever is impressive. Except for one time, it was, I was in the room with her, it was me, Mom, and her, just, like, talking and, like, having a good time. And, like, we said something, she's like, yeah, if, you know, I said that, and he'd kick my ass. And I'm like, whoa, hold up, kid. you can't say that. She's like, oh, sorry. And it was just like, hold on, where did that come from, kid? It's just funny, like... I don't usually like when kids curse, but, like, when it comes out of nowhere like that, when they don't usually curse and that, like, slips out, it's really funny. Now, I feel that, Cameron, ever since I got, the funny disease, I get sick a lot more easy. So I've spent, like, the majority of, like, the last 2 years sick in some manner. I save cunt for really special, besides right now. I save that for, oh no! Sorry, Evie. I guess you'll have to turn off your ad block and watch the stream again later to find it. Could you imagine? Well, Rotom's got a mouthful of dick or something. I forgot what I was saying. I legitimately forgot entirely what I... Oh, yeah, no, I get sick a lot more now. Especially gastrointestinal distress. But that one got especially worse because I discovered Frank's Red Hot sauce. And I put that... I was putting that shit on everything. Cool, bye. I was putting that shit on everything, and let me tell you, it was fighting me. Shiny Thundurus is... It's not even, like, really crazy different. It's, like, more darker blue with purple spots. And its tail, instead of, like, being that purple, it's, like, a lot more, like, vibrant, like, violet. Like, this is more of, like, an indigo, but that one's, like, more like a bright violet. It's noticeable enough that, like, I'll see it when it happens. Though it's not, like, a crazy thing where it's, like, you know, something turns, like, day-glow green. Or, like, nuclear yellow. Hello, Donnie. I don't think I've heard this track before. Miracle Dance. Sounds like something from the Elven Lands. That was one thing. I wanted to stream, like, I figured I could stream some RuneScape, but, the grinds I've been doing are not, interesting. Hey, no problem. They're not visually interesting, and for the most part, I've just been watching a lot of, like, stuff. Like, that's the fun thing about RuneScape. You can use it as an excuse to catch up on any TV you may have missed. How's the hunt going? Well, the next one we find will have been 1,975 encounters. We're about to hit the big 2,000, boys. Yeah, I was surprised I never found Shiny Chansey with all the shiny hunting I did in Let's Go. From what I heard, like, because that one's, like, always there, so the fact that I never managed to hit one is just, like, damn. I don't know what's luckier, the fact that I found so many so quickly, or the fact that I never found that one. So, viewers, let's discuss about pastries. I got this strawberry cheese Danish that I'm going to, absolutely fuck up later. Iron Valiant Shiny looks so good. I don't like a lot of, like, the future Paradoxes Shinies, just because I think them becoming totally chrome is a little boring. But on Iron Valiant, it looks so good. It also looks really good on Iron Leaves. I can't wait until that one's available. Like, I talked to my friend who's, like, super into shiny hunting, and assuming that the Legendary Beast and Musketeer paradoxes become more commonly available, I'm going to shiny hunt a Walking Wake really fast, specifically so they can I can trade them a trade it for an Iron Leaves for them. Iron Leaves is a little boring in general, but its shiny looks really cool. I think the chrome the chrome aesthetic looks really good on Iron Leaves. I think it'll look really good on Iron Crown too. Iron Crown's a weird one. Its Japanese name like implies it was like it's like Tetsu no Kashira, which is like Iron Leader. So Crown technically works, but Iron Leader also would have fit. Yeah, I was super worried we were just gonna get Waken Leaves. Not that I dislike Wake, it's just, like, I wanted more. And the fact that we got Raging Bolt out of it, I love Raging Bolt. And then Iron Crown looks stellar, too. Iron Crown looks a lot more interesting with its idea than Leaves did for Virizion. Leaves doesn't change enough from Virizion, but, like, Crown looks like, actually, like, it did cool with it. And then given that they all seem to share a typing, whatever Terracion's Paradox is going to be the first Rock Psychic since Lunatone and Solrock. Yeah, I'm not sure what they were going for with Slitherwing being fighting. It's built almost exactly like a Heracross, but it doesn't quite get the moveset of Heracross. Yeah, like, I like Wake enough, just... I am very glad that we're getting more. I can't wait to see what Entei is going to look like. Of course, I remember the day they announced... Well, I was going to say the day they announced it, people were really shitting on Wake. I'll take a Rock Dark. We haven't had one of those since Tyranitar. Tyranitar is still a unique type combination. I'm super excited for our Chaludon because, man. Duraludon has always baffled me for, like, how little coherence its design and inspiration has. So the fact that, like, it's getting something to make it a little more coherent and just better in general, I'm very excited for our Chaludon. Alright, 8 more encounters and we'll be up to 2,000. You know, it's a really weird, unique type combo that's still unique, but that might change now. The Zubat line are still the only poison flying types we have. There is not another poison flying type besides Zubat. I'm thinking that's probably going to change, because I'm positive Pheasantipity is going to be poison and flying. In fact, I think I can predict their typings now. Assuming that they're all going to be poison because they have Toxic Chain, I'm thinking Okidogi's going to be poison fighting, Monkey Dory is probably going to be poison psychic, and then poison flying for Pheasantipity. I came up with a really fun ice and poison type for Project 3, but that's a long way away. But I made the ice poison type the pseudo of the region just because it's a really cool idea. Just the ice and poison. Oh, Monkey Dory could be ghost and poison. I'd like that. Before we got Toxic Chain confirmed, I thought... Because you know how, like, there's like those monkeys in Japan that like live in like the really like frosty upper regions and they like sit in like hot springs. Because of that, I was positive Monkey Dory was going to be ice type, and then just based on how it looks in general, I was convinced, not convinced, but I was reasonably sure that Monkey Dory would have been an ice normal type. But now with Toxic Chain and what looked to be a psychic move that he was using in the trailer, I'm pretty sure he's going to be Poison Psychic. I think a macaque. I don't really know monkey names. Alright, big 2000. Let's see what we get. Never lucky. I have now had a 77% chance to find a shiny by now. But you know the concept of, like, people, like, scientists are worried that, if permafrost melts, that ancient, like, viruses and bacteria can awaken from them and, like, really, like, wreak some havoc there. That's what I figured Ice and Poison would, like, be based off of. Diplin needs to, like, only be a middle stage. Like, Diplin does not look like a fully evolved Pokemon. Like, I get that it evolves, but, like, I'm really hoping that it evolves maybe one more time. Maybe, it could look like the G-Max. I think that'd be fun. Though I'm not gonna say positive. I am pretty sure is that, Diplin is probably going to be, its final form. I'm hoping not, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Appleton in general, like, I don't really feel... Like, I feel like Appleton probably came a lot later into the thought process than Flapple did. Yeah, so that's what I called the Ice and Poison type. Based on that, it's called Frigidemic. Which, its first stage, it's this little ice baby, and its name is Permatot. I love Appleton, it just doesn't really feel like it was... Sort of similar to how, like, Cerulette, like, when Charcadet evolved... Like, Armarouge is definitely what Charcadet was intended to become. And then Armarouge just kind of feels, like, out there. That's kind of... Like, Flapple definitely feels like what Applin was supposed to be. And then Appleton was just, like, another, like... Here you go! Applin being the, like, slowpoke of this one would have been a really inspired choice. Oh, Epic, have I showed you the cool way that I found to, like, make Applin hunting super easy? I mean, literally, all you have to do is hit R and let Miraidon do the work for you. Like, it just constantly knocks them down and spawns in new ones. It's super fast. There's a part in, a tag tree thicket that you can do that in. Ah, you're right. I should put on a registered hypercam at the top of the screen. Alright, we're up to 2012. This is when, damn. 2012 is when we got the Therians confirmed, so I figured that might be it. Plaplin! Imagine getting, like, boned by a Flapple. Like, sexually. Yeah, I had the plan for when, core release. That's cute. I had, the plan for the DLC where, I'm bringing 3 Pokemon into each one, and then procuring the most 3 interesting-looking Pokemon I see on site. So for, Teal Mask, I brought in some shiny Hisuians that I hunted. Like, I've got a Zoroark, Avalugg, and Decidueye. And then whatever 3 months I find there, that'll be cool. And I'm still choosing what I'm gonna do for, Indigo Disc. Except I know for a fact I'm bringing in, a Dragonite that I transferred in from Go. Fucking love Apollo. Apollo is my baby. I caught that when Pokemon Go was still pretty much brand new. Like a month after launch, I was at my college campus. And I was walking around and found that Dragonite. And it was like a 15-minute struggle to get that thing to stay in my balls before I even had Ultra Balls. And, like, managing to catch that, I screamed. I was in, like, the middle of the quad. I was just like, yes! And, like, everyone looked, and I'm just like, I caught a Dragonite! And no one was playing Go but me at that point, so I must have just looked like a fool, but I couldn't. No one was going to take that hype away from me. And Apollo was my boy. And so bringing that in to, and now it's in my Violet, or my Scarlet, so there's no way I'm not bringing him to end off the story. Alright, 2020. Moving on to 2021. Maybe it'll be a 2023, and it'll be a fun little cap off, huh? Let's take a look-see. I shiny hunted a Hisuian Sneasel, and I brought it into that what ended up being my false swiper for all of my Scarlet shiny hunting. It's going good, Jay. I drank an 80-cent energy drink from Aldi on stream, and I thought I was going to have a heart attack, but I think the worst of it's over. All right, here's 2023. Are we gonna get it? Doomed failed year. But will next year be good? If this isn't shiny, everyone's gonna have an awful 2024. Sorry, gamers. That's another thing I wish that, I almost bought just Violet as well, because I loved playing Scarlet so much that I wanted to play it again. And I almost ended up buying Violet to do it. So, it would have been really nice to shiny hunt some Dreepies. Though that's how I got my shiny, Tatsugiri, the white one. I went into Casey's game, like, where he did, like, the, Link circle thing. And they had a Dracloak outbreak. I was like, cool, we'll hunt that. But apparently, like, the outbreak ones at that point, they might still, but it was definitely at that point. They don't show up unless the host is nearby, too. So while I was looking around to, like, find them, I ran into something that I didn't see, and I was just like, oh, what's this? And it ended up being the white shiny Tatsugiri, and I'm like, yes, this is the one I wanted! So I caught it, and then I just, like, let it run around me, and it just kept, like, plapping the ground. So I named it Sploops. It's a cute name. Sploops. Tatsugiri is just a cute Pokemon. I like it. And it, like, the way that it works alongside Dondozo, like, I'm just enamored with the concept. It's so much fun. Just Dondozo in general ended up just being, like, a water Snorlax. Like, and it's, like, typing and how they use it. Like, Dondozo taking competitive by storm was so much fun. Plus, I like the Wells Catfish idea. Have you seen a Wells Catfish in real life? They're fucking huge. That's what makes Casseroya Lake one of the scariest places in Paldea. Because, like, in real life, if I looked down and saw a giant Wells Catfish swimming up at me, I would shit my pants. I honest to God think that I would have a heart attack if like, a Wells Catfish, like, swam up at me. The thing about Veluza is I just don't get it. Like, it's based on Hakes. They're called Merluza in Spanish. But, like, it being water and psychic, and it's like, yes, it casts aside unneeded flesh. I'm like, but why? Hakes don't do that. It's just a weird thing of, like, here's a Pokemon that mutilates itself to go faster. I'm just not sure, like, what the... But it uses psychic energy to do it, too. I'm not really sure what, No, trust me, I look, dead in my eyes at this thing. Oh, no. Hello! If a talking Wells Catfish came up to me, I would scream at first, and then it would go, hello! And then I would clap and laugh and ask it to tell me a cool story. Yeah, I don't... I'm not saying I dislike Veluza, except hunting it. Jesus Christ, hunting that thing is a pain, and I'm so glad the hunt went quick. Yeah, what would you, you could call it, Fetus Yeetus, because it shoots its babies out. I'm just saying, if I shot my babies out at a Pokemon, then people would call me a freak and a Pokephile. I mean, it's kind of like just like the brains and brawn. Like, it's just like, little Tatsugiri is just like, meh. Like, I'm the big boss, and Dondo's like, hey, on it, boss. It's like, hey, he's walking here. I was gonna say if I shot my babies on a Gardevoir, but you can't use Dragon Darts on a Gardevoir. My 3 favorite Paldean characters. Penny, Grusha, Katie. No. those are the Kumar options, even. I really like Larry. It's probably Larry, Mela, and Rika. Just because Mela and Rika are, like, super gender. And Larry is just, like, one of the most, just, like, brilliantly written characters in the series. Like, if someone gave me the option if I could have $1 million to look exactly like Mela, I would take the $1 million and then be, because I'd be stupid not to do that in this economy. But, I would sit there and be like, I won, but at what cost? I'm glad Iono took off. Because, like, the pre-release marketing where Iono did a stream to announce Bellybolt's existence, that was so much fun. Salvatore is... No, wait, no, I hate Salvatore. I'm picking Saguaro. I can't think of anyone in Scarlet and Violet that I... No, I don't like Tulip. But that's mostly just because her makeup looks really uncomfortable. Like, I feel like wearing that much would feel so terrible. It'd be like a fucking ball and chain. Tulip's existence just seems painful, so I don't like Tulip very much. I like Kofu a lot because he feels like he would be really fun to hang out with. Because, like, just like the idea of, like, your doofy grandpa just being like, Fulton Veluza! And then also just, like, whipping out this amazing sushi. Like, he feels like he'd be so much fun to hang out with. Brassius... Again, Brassius is kind of just my friend group. We're all depressed artists. Yeah, Tulip feels like she'd fit perfectly into Kalos. Yeah, swap Tulip and Olympia. Tell me Olympia wouldn't fit really nicely in S&V. In Scarvio. Both. Who else was good? Yeah, Katie's cute. I knew someone who looked a lot, like, looked and act. I was gonna look and acted. I knew someone who went to culinary school and looked like Katie. I look back really fondly on Grusha because first I thought Grusha was going to be, because like I think it wasn't as high up on Glaciato Mountain that I figured that he was supposed to be like the 6th gym leader. So I went there at like level 38, and he sends out his first Pokemon that's like level 48. Oh Jesus! He was like 10 levels higher than me. I'm like, oh fuck. But I look back fondly on that because that was the point I realized that I wanted to beat Scarlet 10 levels under everything. And doing that was so much fun. party wipe to Arvin because of it, but... We're at 2,056 encounters. This thing is fighting. Olympia in general just, like, felt like... She was the one that, like, really stood out to me in X and Y for being just, like, lame. It's like, okay, here's your... First off, all the X and Y gym leaders only having 3 Pokemon was silly. And then, like, all of them only had, like, 1 Kalos Pokemon. So a lot of them just felt like strong trainers rather than gym leaders. Like, what did Olympia... Like, she had, like, a Slowking, her ace, and what else even was there? Yeah, Arvin, that fight cemented my love for my Titan. Because I gave Titan a Rocky helmet just because I'm like, okay, he's the only one that doesn't have an item. I'll give him a Rocky helmet. So, like, PP, like, HP stalling contact Pokemon with my Rocky helmet Titan and, like, using, like, Slack Off. I'm just like, no, heal! You can do it! And that's how I beat a lot of, like, things under leveled. I think it's the only reason I could beat Roaring Moon, because my team was so weak to it. It was a lot of fun. I had so much fun with Scarlet. Especially going into it, like, because I went in completely blind. Like, anything that Cerebi didn't announce, I didn't know. So, like, finding so many new guys, like, having no idea what any of these things are. I'm like, oh, this is awesome! Like, one memory I remember having early on was, like, talking to, like, food vendors, and, like, they had mentioned, like, oh, this hot sauce is made from Scovillans. And I'm like, oh my god, Scovillain. Like, a Scoville is like usually you hear things about peppers. And I'm like, okay, there's either another pepper Pokemon or the final form of Fuecoco, who kinda looks like a pepper, could be named Scovillain, so it could be anyone. And, like, I was, like, sitting there waiting, and then, like, when I finally got Skeledirge, I'm like, Skeledirge, cool! But I haven't seen a Scovillain yet, so it could be anything! And it was just super fun. Like, just an unparalleled sense of discovery. I'd love Tarantula-themed cupcakes. I think Tarantula is one that let me down a little bit, because, like... Spidops, like, I know it kind of became, like, a meme pick, but... I'm not huge into Spidops. It's like one of like 3 Pokemon since like 6th gen or 7th gen that doesn't have its own signature move either. I do kind of like that they give like pretty much every Pokemon a signature move now. Because it like feels unique. It's like most things like have their own most animals have their own survival techniques. It's cool that like everything gets a signature move. Because it's like, yeah, this is how this particularly survives. Now, see, James, you're right in that Tarantula and Spheal are the same because they're first stagers that... The first stages are way better than what follows. I think Walreign's really boring. I'd say I envy you, but I really don't. When I was in high school, I thought I wanted to be a chef, and then I worked for a month at Chipotle, and that took that right out of me. Mostly I just loved Ratatouille so much that I thought I could pull it off, and let me tell you, man, working at a restaurant is a lot different than Ratatouille made it seem. Pokemon cupcakes feel like they'd be a really easy thing to do, but, like, I also feel like you could probably get, like, in trouble for that. Like, saying, like, oh, we have Pokemon cupcakes, and Pokemon Company's like, you pay that royalty? If it was like commissioned, I'm sure, but like someone like, hey, can you make me like 1,500 tarantula cupcakes? Like, I'm sure that'd be fine. But like specifically like marketing, like we sell tarantula cupcakes would probably be an issue. I wanted to be a Walrein in high school. When Bellybolt was first announced, I thought it looked like a Mario enemy. Like Bellybolt, like it felt straight out of Mario Sunshine. I ended up falling in love with Bellybolt. I really like it. I also think Tadbulb was really cute. Yeah, we get a Fire Elephant starter, and it's based on Elephant Mario. Let's see, 2,078 encounters. We've almost done 300 encounters in this stream. I remember the first, like, set of starter Pokemon that I ever made, was a grass snake, and this was right after 4th gen, so we got a Snivy, really. Oh, Dragalge is Scarlet exclusive, I'm sorry, Dipper. You guys get Clauncher, we get, Skrelp. But my starters were a grass snake, a fire rabbit, and a water jellyfish. So all of my ideas have been done with starters except for the jellyfish, which, you know. We already had a water jellyfish. I know, it sucks, I'm sorry. I felt the same way because I really wanted a shiny Clawitzer, but... Yeah, no, like... Food service is brutal. I'm glad I don't do that anymore. Then again, I didn't work in like a restaurant proper. I worked in a Chipotle and then I worked at a Panera. But like I didn't like do like an actual like sit down restaurant. I had a friend that did, and he's like he quit after a month and he's just like, nah, this thing's too much. An oven, a swordfish, and a broken pot. That could sound fun. I didn't like it as much as a kid, but like getting older, like shiny hunting is a very zen experience. Deadbeat! Oh, man, Casey had a wonderful starter set, but their fire type one was a jack-o'-lantern, so it was kind of like Pyro Jack. But its middle stage was called Jump Flare, and I really wanted to steal that for myself, because like it was such an inspired name. Like Jump Scare, but with a flare. I still think about it. I'm like, how do I steal this from... I was like, babe, can I steal that? I'm like, no, it's mine. I'm like, oh, I want it. I mean, that's just the thing with everything is so much pricier now. Like, Trev, if you're here, Trev would tell me that, like, he remembers when he started at his job, like, how much pizza used to cost. And, like, it's, like, 3 times more than it used to be. It's ridiculous. I think I heard that, like, meth is really big. Not meth, maybe meth. Like, meth or cocaine is really big in the restaurant industry. Rhyme is such a stellar design. Plus, we got DJ G-Rave out of it. Plus, I'm finally happy that, like, a musical-based gym leader finally got to use a Toxtricity. Video pause. Continue watching? Yeah, continue watching. That's stupid. Why would... YouTube, that's a stupid thing to do. Of course, like, why? You're like, oh, you haven't been interacting with this thing. I'm like, yeah, it's a music playlist. I don't want to have to interact with it. See, that's scary. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. There are some Pokemon that just feel like they would have been built for 5th gen. Toxtricity is so perfect for Roxy. Helioptile would have been so perfect in 5th gen. Because the electric gym leader is already right next to a desert where you could find Helioptile. And it's, you know, an electric type. It would have been perfect for Elisa. Or Elisa, however you pronounce it. Beat down! That'd be so perfect! I made a new move for Project 3. That was because a lot of the times, like, I see, because I looked at the new moves I make for Project 3, and so many of them are Steel type moves. And so, of course, I look at that and I add another Steel type move. Based on the concept of a Railgun. Because, you know, Railguns take a while to charge, so it's a 2-turn move that's a Steel thing, but it can paralyze the opponent. But if you're under electric terrain, it acts like Solar Beam and Sun and just immediately charges and fires. So then seeing our Chaludon having a really similar move was just like, oh, damn it. Nah, it's almost time for my tri-monthly Rose Gold development, Sash. Jesus. No, I ran into a big issue last time that I ended up fixing. For some reason, adding a new move to the game, like, completely fucked Essentials up. And would just, like, completely shift how everything worked. Like, Bite would, like, become a normal type move and then just not work at all, and then you couldn't get experience. But I'm trying to add all these moves in because I'm trying to add all the evolutions from Legends Arceus and Scarlet and Violet into Johtomons. So I need their moves so I can make them evolve. See, Evie, the only reason I disagree with, like, not having voice acting for Piers and Rhyme is I really... With how thin Game Freak is already stretched with this shit, I don't want them wasting more time and money on what's going to end up being, like... You know they're gonna cheap out on the voice actors, so they're gonna sound like shit. I don't want to listen to that. I'm getting to a point where I think I just don't want voice acting in video games in general anymore. I can't remember the last time my experience with a video game has been enhanced with, voice acting. Yeah, see, James, that's exactly what I'm saying. I think they already had the ending, so I think that was already, like, they already had it, and they're like, oh, you might as well put it in. I'm glad they didn't put the Post Malone song in that specifically says sex in it. When a Lugia was on screen. Rest in peace, Takashi Shudo. Alright, let me rephrase that. I don't remember the last time an English dub was enhanced a game for me. Well, actually, I think Yakuza 7 had a good dub. But for the most part, like, I don't know if I could listen to a whole game of it. Like, I went with the Japanese for there, too. Actually, no. I can tell you the last game I played that I specifically preferred the English dub was Yakuza, the first one on the PS2 in 2005. Well, just stop. I want them to stop making cutscenes that clearly look like they need voice acting. Just don't do that if you're not going to put it, because it looks unfinished and makes people think that they want really shitty voices. Glovin! I love that one. But like Yakuza 2005, its dub was so deliciously cheesy that I had a lot of fun with it. But then like looking at like The Man Who Forgot His Name or something, and like seeing how like serious it's taken itself, I'm like, well, now I don't want to hear this in English. I miss how cheesy voice acting used to be. Like everyone takes himself seriously, but like not seriously enough in that same way. Like people are too afraid to yell. Which is what actually, you know what? I take it back. I take all of this back. I remember the last game that I thought the English dub did a good job. It was the Live Alive HD remaster or remake. Because like the people there like actually like went in. Like they weren't afraid to embarrass themselves or anything. Like they yelled, they put a lot of oomph into it. And that's what I want. Like the voice acting doesn't have to be great. Just sell me on the idea that you believe in it. But like listening to like the My Hero Academia dub, it was just like all the pieces are there, but like it just doesn't sound like they believe in it. It's like everything. It almost feels like a lot of dubs. I feel more like a bridged anime now, but like everything's just like too self-aware to like take itself seriously. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm spinning in circles and not getting my point across. Xenoblade 1 had an amazing dub. And then 2 happened. People shit talks Rex in that one, but Rex is half the reason I kept the dub on. I loved his voice. It was Pyra and Mithra that sounded like they were on like 9 Vicodin during it. Neo was fantastic. Just Pyra and Mithra's performance alone almost made me want to put it in Japanese. But then everyone in Xenoblade 1 sounded great. I've been digging Xenoblade Cross's dub. I've been playing Xenosaga 1. And that one is a little robotic. But I think it's hilarious. Mostly, I think I'm just kinder towards older things. Because either A, like they were just getting used to it, or B, it's nostalgic. Yeah, well, I mean that's like a Western game. Like that one's like, it's not really a dub. It's just kind of what it is. We're at 2,122. Yeah, Rex introduces his polycule and says, let's show them a wife or 3. Is this funny? Is this anything? One that's been really taking me out of it recently. I've been talking up the Trials of Mana remake. But the voice acting in that one is also really bad. It's a case of like some characters like being really good. Like Angela and Duran sound great. But like Reese just kind of sounds like she's phoning it in. You know? And like all the NPCs sound like they did it in like one take and didn't get like they were told just like, here, talk like you normally would. Now, from what I understand, a lot of those like smaller budget projects, like they don't get the chance to do like retakes. Like your first take is like, all right, moving on. We don't have the money to keep you here and pay you more. But at that point, I'm just like, don't give me a dub then. If you're gonna shaft it in half-ass, don't give me a dub. Otherwise, like I don't want to hear that. You're just here. I remember My stupid ass, when I first bought Xenoblade 1 in 2012, I was like, why is everyone British? This sounds bad. I'm going to put on the Japanese. And I'm gonna hit myself in the face for thinking that, because imagine looking at the Xenoblade 1 dub and thinking it's not perfection. Boy howdy, I have found 2,128 Thunduruses. I've had a 79% chance to have gotten a shiny. That's a Stone Edge. This entire hunt has been a missed Stone Edge. But anyway, that's my take on dubs. My take is that modern dubs are an L. Wink. Here's one for everyone. What does everyone think about the new voice cast for Persona 3's remake? I'm not gonna put mine out there. I want to hear what everyone else thinks first. Yeah, this makes hunting way nicer. I've barely even noticed that we've done 300 and this will be the 333rd South reset. That's a lot of resets. Alright, I think that energy drink is leaving my system. I think I'm good now. I didn't have a heart attack, guys. We won. No heart attacks for the comic. Moving forward. Refresh my page real quick. No such luck. Okay. 2,138. Yeah, I find the shiny and then my heart gives up. It's actually a really tasty energy drink. I'm just... That one I'm a little hesitant to buy again. I did not like the way that made me feel. The same way in not high school, college, I used to get one Rockstar energy drink. And that one made my heart feel really, like, itchy. Did not care for that one. I think I drank, like, 2 before I'm like, alright, this thing's gonna kill me if I drink another one. Well, now that I've gotten an opinion on the, Persona 3 remake, I'll give you mine. It's a modern Atlas game. I don't give a shit. Not fucking playing it. What's that thing? It's like, doesn't matter, Uncle Ben. It's modern Atlas. Who cares? Rido clears, unfortunately. Because it treats that one like a silent movie. There is no voice acting. I will end up playing Persona 6, I know it. I feel weird talking about Persona crushes because I'm 28. It's like, yes, canonically, like, there's no issue with Joker dating the Phantom Thieves because he is of their age. But to say any one of them would be my waifu would be, a little weird. Because I'm 28. And those are Japanese teenagers. As for the adults, I could fix, not, I was gonna say kid. Kawakami, except no, I can't, because I can't get her fucking name right, so I'm sure she wouldn't give me the time of day. But as for the adults, I like Kawakami. She's nice. She's a good personality. She's nice hair. Gun shop guy could hit. The doctor scares me. I don't think Chihaya and I would get along. Oh yeah, would probably be nice, but I'm a little wary about dating an alcoholic. And I forgot the rest of the adults. Sojiro, I would love to sit in LeBlanc. Actually, I'm not sure if I would go to LeBlanc. It feels like a place that's, like, too cool. I'd feel like I'd be intruding. There was a cafe near my college that I wanted to go to, but I never did because it felt like it would be, like, either too cool or, like, I'm just not the right, like, clientele. Like, I feel like I wouldn't fit in, and then eventually I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go in, and I'm gonna have a cup of coffee. And I went there, and it had shut down. So, maybe I would go to LeBlanc, just to say that I experienced it. I mean, that's the thing. I've had enough with dating malicious people. You can have the doc, Tei Takemi. I'm gonna let her go. I'm not even sure if a one-night stand would work there, because she'd, like, inject something into my balls when I wasn't looking or something. And, like, not even, like, something, like, relevant to sex. It was just, like, a needle full of, like, sarin or something. I had a weird, honor in Persona 5. Where I'm like, alright, I can only date one Phantom Thief, and then I'll have to reject the rest, but I'll date all the adults. So, that was my bit of honor, rejecting all of the teenagers, but... I went with Futaba, for what it matters. Given the chance, I think Yusuke would be a fun boyfriend to have. Then again, Yusuke is just kind of, like, just Casey. So, it's probably what it is. Probably why I say that. If I could save Kawakami, she wouldn't have to work like that if she was my girlfriend. I got Persona 5 on the Switch. And I keep meaning to play it, but then, like... I don't want to get too into it now, because, like, I'm definitely not going to finish it before, I'm not going to finish it before Teal Mask drops. And then I'm just going to get so into Teal Mask that I'm just never going to go back to anything. So, like, I've mostly just been playing RuneScape, because I don't want to get into anything before that one drops. See, I don't know. People say, like, the little sister thing, but, like, that I never really got that vibe. The Teal Mask is the first part of the expansion to Scarlet and Violet. I think part of why I enjoyed Futaba was because like she reminded me a lot of like the people I would hang out with in high school that like made high school kind of bearable. So like kind of nostalgic, I guess. But as far as like who was like best for Joker, I'd probably say Makoto. Just mostly has her shit together and would like keep him on the straight and narrow. Not really the interesting choice for a teenager, but like I feel like Makoto would probably be the best for him. I'm gonna get to that New Vegas stream eventually. A cat is fine too. I think I started modding New Vegas to get it ready, and then just fell asleep halfway through modding. One thing I've been doing recently is I got a PC98 emulator working, and I've been playing Touhou. Because, like, someone recently taught me that, like, Touhou isn't just a complete lunatic series, it has a normal and easy mode. And so, like, playing it almost feels like playing, like, a difficult boss in Undertale or Deltarune. Like, it's got cool music, you're threading the needle with bullets, it really just kind of feels like if every fight was Jevil. That's my Touhou experience. Forgot On existed. She feels like she'd be interesting. Like I said, when I got the PC98 thing, I played, man, speaking of Delta, I played this one shoot 'em up called Rude Breaker, and that ended up being fun. The only Touhou I've played so far is 4, because that one had battle. That one had Bad Apple in it, so I'm like, I'm gonna play that one. And it's really funny that, like, the Bad Apple song that plays in Touhou 4 doesn't sound anything like that remix that got super popular. That's what I'm saying, DG. Touhou has easy mode. It's still difficult, but, like, it's not like the metric fuck ton of insanity that, like, people like to show off. That's why I compare it to Undertale. It's basically just like playing Undertale. It's really fun. Because I never really got into shmups until I played Touhou, and I was just like, oh my god, I get it now. Like, it really clicked when I was playing Lotus Land Story. But also don't play Lotus Land Story because, I'm doing good in that one just because I keep throwing myself at it because I really love the music. But the backgrounds and enemies blend together really hard, and, like, my eyes feel, like, shattered after I play that one. I've been watching a lot of, like, YouTubers that, like, have, like, these, gamer glasses to help, like, blue light exposure. And I feel like I need, like, 9 pairs of those on after I play, Touhou 4. And then I looked at, like, what else the PC98 has, because I love how its music sounds. PC98 music is so good. We're at 2,181 encounters. It's got really good music, and I looked to see what, like, games were on it, and, like, the PC98 has so much porn. And I didn't realize it. Like, I was, like, looking up, well, Touhou seems kind of generic because it was, like, the progenitor, you know? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna look at... I looked at, like, a list of, like, the best PC98 games, and every one of them was like, alright, now be careful, there's some porn in this game. And I'm like, oh, okay. Whoops. I didn't play that one. I'm like, yeah, I'll stream a nice PC98 engine game, and then boom, 16 color vagina. Very well shaded clitoris. You know, my big thing about I can't bet you realized it was an overlay. Yeah, I love this overlay. I've been wanting to use it for so long. Just like the vibe of PC98 Toho is just like unmatched. I would I would fuck the PC98 engine sound card with consent. And given what the kind of games that thing plays, I don't think I would have to try too hard to get that consent. Yeah. Yeah, everyone, raise your hands to the sky and give me your energy. And we'll get it in the next 5, this one being the first. Alright, we'll get it in the next 4. Yeah, those porn games about raising your hand to the sky and granting energy to your boner to have sex with a vampire or something. Alright, next 3 encounters we'll get it. Oh, Police Knots is apparently on it, but I haven't checked if that one got a fan translation yet or anything. Russ, it's your fault we won't get this now. We would have gotten this in 5 encounters, but you couldn't raise both of your hands. Because you had to survive the vampire. That isn't in the fucking game! Do I talk about the porn games I've been playing this year? Thank you, Dipper. Alright, this is the one. This should be the shiny. Except people are going to accuse me of cheating if this was it, so I'm kind of glad it wasn't. I'm like, oh, you called it, huh? Oh, look at Rab. His penis isn't prehensile enough to type with. Laugh at him. Don't give me your energy. Spend it on laughing at Rab and his unprehensile cock. $2,194. We're in uncharted territory. I should have definitely had it by now. Let's see. My percentage to have it. Oh, it's a palindrome. I've had a 79.97% chance to find one by now. I think Honey Pop 1 was a genuinely good game, but 2 is such a disaster. Ryan and I played 2 together, because I bought it for him as a joke. And we were like, yeah, let's just sit in a call and get boners together. And, like, we played it, and it was just, like, this genuinely, like, unfun experience. Like, we got to the final boss and how, like, poorly thing it was, and we were just like, fuck this. Don't play 2, it sucks. Yeah, you ever spend $7.50 on porn games on your for your friends as a joke? I downloaded one recently that was by the same devs as another one that I enjoyed, and I really liked the first one. And I'm like, yeah, this will be great. And I played this. I waited for it to be totally complete, and I paid $4 for it because it was the minimum asking price, and it fucking sucked. It was so bad. It's the first and only time I've ever asked for a refund on an indie game, unless you want to count Pooplers. Pooplers was an indie game, right? So if we're counting Pooplers as an indie game, then it's the second indie game I've ever asked for a refund on. I need to finish watching Panty and Stocking. Alright, we're up to 2,200 encounters. This is, I'm now very, very dry on this. Fiend Empire from Mado Monogatari. I'm gonna put that in my YouTube search on my phone so I don't forget about it. I'd feel much less embarrassed about having someone's... I was gonna say embarrassed about, like, having, like... No one cares if you have porn on your Steam anymore. Cool, I'll listen to that after the stream is done. Pooplers. It was a game chat. Okay, yeah. Well, I don't have the team I used to finish the game on hand right now, but the team I used for this was Incineroar, who I named after my cat Sigma. I had an Araquanid that I named Mega Surskit. I had a Miltank, Lil Squish. An Aurorus named French, but it had a green text arrow. I had Shadowbringer the Zoroark. And I had another Pokemon. Oh, Grubsy, who was my, Vikavolt. Yeah, I had a burner Steam account for porn games at some point. I'm just like, does anyone care? Everyone knows we jerk. Then again, I've still just never bought a porn game on Steam, so... I don't know, maybe my Steam friends don't need to know how much time I've spent in Corruption of Champions 2. Not to be the I read it for the articles guy, but the lore of that one is actually genuinely interesting. I'm actually genuinely invested in the plot. Well, I had my Zoom because I would work for when I was working with my last thing, like I had my Steam name set as Erica because that's my other name, my non-binary name, Erica. And I had an interview with the college recently. And I'm like, oh shit, my name's, like, I don't know how they're gonna handle that, so I had to, like, quickly change it back to my given name. Look, man, idle hands are the devil's tools, so you might as well just keep them busy with, masturbation. Porn that keeps your brain jerking it. I need a cerebral experience. I need a game that jerks off my brain, not my dick. If someone told you that, would you hit them with a stick? It's like those like that one Twitter account that like kept tweeting like ass or thought or ass or tits. It's like, bro, her heart. No, it was funny. I chose Erica when I was like 4. As just like, oh, that's a cute name. And then like for a long time, I'm like, okay, cool. I'll save this for my daughter if I ever have. No, I was like, I had like names for a daughter. I'm like, but I'm not giving Erica because what if I turn out to be trans? I'm gonna need that name. And then it turns out cis people don't think that way. And then rapidly realized that I think I'm just gonna have to use this name I've been saving. But it's Erica with a K, like the superior one. Also, I absolutely got it from the gym leader for Pokemon because I was 4 when I picked it out. Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. Don't worry about it. I go by he, they in professional settings mostly just because it's I stick with the he and the original name until I'm aware that I'm in a safe environment. Rab, I'll have you know I had sex earlier this year. I'm getting laid. Definitely never having kids though. That's I don't need they don't need my genes. Those don't need to spread. The subtle patheticness about shiny hunting the subtle patheticness about bragging about having sex a few months ago while shiny hunting Thundurus. I like kids, I just don't want them to be mine. You know what the cool thing about being an uncle is? When I'm done with a kid, I can give them back to their mom. I mean, that's the fun thing, is that James is already kind of a, Jamie is like already a gender-neutral name. When I didn't know what, because Sons and Daughters in Harvest Moon: A Wonderful Life Special Edition wear the same baby clothes, so it's hard to tell originally. So I named my kid Jamie just to be sure that no matter which I rolled, that they had a fitting name. Don't do this to me, Keo! Don't do this to me! Except I don't really get to hand them back, my niece back to her mom, because if I'm visiting, I'm usually super babysitting. Alright. The encounter after this will be 2,222. So yeah, that L I'm holding is really starting to fill my arms with lactic acid. Jiminy Christmas. Like, I like my niece and she likes me. We have fun. Like, when I visited last, we were, at the family cabin. And so, like, we would just, like, end up, like, walking around, like, the property and, like, finding salamanders and newts. And there were so many of them out. Like, every, like, 30 feet there was another one. And, like, she would, like, pick it up and, like, gently hold and be like, oh, cute. And, like, I'd like, alright, let's put him back down and we can keep looking for more. And then, like, 2 seconds later, we find another one and repeat the whole process. Yeah, I've seen the argument of, like, kids, like, being like, oh, who's gonna take care of you when you're older? And it's like, I cannot think of anything more selfish than bringing someone into the world solely so you don't have to die alone. Have a kid because you want a kid, not because you're worried you're gonna die at, like, 60 and not have anyone to take care of you if you shit yourself or something. Let's see. Boy howdy, we've been at this for 2 hours and 15 minutes. We've done 427 encounters. Which is almost the entirety of what I did for the Zekrom. Like, my thing too is, like, I need my alone time, and I'm not going to be able to have that if I have a kid. Yeah, see, James gets it. Like, I very specifically want a kid to have a good life, and I'm not convinced I could give a kid that. And if I'm not 100% convinced, I'm not going to take the risk on fucking up an innocent child's life. You know? That's my take on it. But it's not like those, like, people are just like, oh, fuck all kids, I hate kids, brah, brah. Like, that's not it. Kids are cool. I just... Don't give me one to raise, because it's not going to be good for it. If I don't have a kid, who's gonna do my RuneScape grinding for me? We'll like take a kid off the street or something. We'll just get a free range organic kid from the Aldi's or something. You're a good Samaritan, Cameron. It's like I always see people on like the RuneScape subreddit. It's just like, oh look, my new bot's coming into the world, and like they're in like the not the emergency room, but like the maternity ward, and like they're holding their kid, but they also have their RuneScape account open on mobile, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what are you doing? Is this what you're gonna karma farm for? I'll teach my kid how to go Super Saiyan 3, because I can only go 2. I remember once, I was trying to pet 2 cats at once, and they both wanted my attention. I was 17 when this happened. and I could not give them both the attention they wanted. And I said, what am I going to ever do if I have twins? And my solution was move out to the mountains, completely get away from like technology and society. Don't give either of them love, but teach them in the art of sword fighting. And on their 13th birthday, have them fight to the death, and the survivor gets to have a normal life, and the one who lost dies. I think that was the point where I realized I probably shouldn't breed. Space Boy, I can't imagine that. I'll get a... What was that one, like, did you hear that guy recently that, like, accidentally showed his dick on stream? He was, like, streaming Five Nights at Freddy's in his boxers, and, like, he stood up too fast because he got scared or something, and his dick flopped out, and he got in trouble for it. That's what's going to happen if I imagine Thundurus falling on top of me. Yeah, I show meat, that's what it was. I didn't know what was going on with that until today. Like, I just saw, like, I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, but it's pretty, it's either hilarious or unfortunate that his dick flopped out. But, if you're streaming in your boxers, you kinda had it coming. Like, I don't even have a webcam on for my streams, and I get fully dressed for every stream. Like, if I was shirtless or just in my underwear before my stream, I get fully dressed before my stream. I'm taking 0 chances. I was gonna say, for a long time, I didn't even own a webcam. But yeah, like, I'm not taking that chance. Oh, I didn't know about him. Is he not a good guy? Then fuck him, whatever. I'll take your word for it, because, I don't care. I have no skin in this game, so, I'll take my viewer's word for it. Oh, James, no! That's so sad. That happened to me when I was hunting this earlier, because one of my light bulbs burned out, so it's starting to get just a little, like, gloomy in my room. I got more light bulbs coming in the mail. But it's a little gloomy, so the lighting is a little off, and I was looking at Thundurus' tail, and because of how the light hit it, I thought it was the bright violet of a shiny, and I was like, oh my god! Oh my god! And then it just turned out to be a regular one, and I stopped hunting that night because I got so bummed. Or 2247. A lot of VTubers stream wearing nothing. I couldn't... Dude, if I have a webcam aimed at my face, even if it's my anime avatar, I am not taking the chance being totally naked. My nipples are already on my channel, if you know where to look. I'm not... like... I need to hide those videos. But, like, they do the face tracking thing. Like, that's... I might be thinking of, No, cause it was stupid. When I did my original LPs on a camera, I wasn't wearing a shirt when I recorded the first few episodes of an LP. And, you don't even have to look that hard. The reflection in the DS screen, you could see my shirtless frame. Also, let me tell you also how stupid that was. In order to rectify that, instead of going anywhere else, I ended up balancing a rug on my shoulders to drape out and blot the light. So I recorded that whole thing with a heavy-ass rolled carpet on my shoulders. And, like, after I recorded, like, 2 or 3 episodes, like, my shoulders, like, hurt for a couple days afterwards. I have to buy a whole Peter Griffin outfit. If I buy a whole Peter Griffin outfit, I'm putting, like, 8 webcams on, so you can see that thing from every angle. Wasn't there a VTuber who apparently, like, actually, like, had sex on stream? Or was that just, like, a goof to, like, get attention? I remembered I watched a bunch of, I watched Korone, compilations a lot, because I think she's funny. Or just in general, she has, like, an energy and, like, plays, like, interesting game. Like, VTubers that, like, just play, that it's, like, all, like, what is it, like, Apex and all that? Like, that doesn't interest me, so whatever. But, like, you play a retro game, and I'll sit and watch you. Like, Corona is, like, she was playing Saga Frontier, and, like, her dad was apparently really likes that game. And, like, texted her after her stream and said, like, I saw you were having trouble against that boss. I didn't. And just, like, hung up or something. The Pirate VTuber's fun. A lot of the times I just kind of watch their greatest hits. Like, I don't think I've actually ever sat down and, like, watched... But I also just don't watch streamers, usually. The only streamer I think I've, watched in the last... yeah, Hosho Marine. The only VTuber... Well, streamer, really, that I watch with any sort of consistency is my friend, who goes by Goodnight Hazel on Twitch. I'll put a link in the, put a link in the chat. Now I need to get Stitcher back up. But they're really fun. They're doing Great Ace Attorney too right now. They've gone through, like, the entire series. It's just for the like, even, like, LPers and whatnot, like, I don't think I've ever made it a secret that, like, I also don't watch my friends. Like, cause... Usually it's cause, like, I'm not too interested in the game proper. Like, I'll go and, like, watch a video for support, but, like, it's already difficult enough for me to watch things that I'm actually interested in, but, like, if you're playing, like, here's this, here's, like, my new Apex stream, I'm like, I don't care. I'm sorry, I don't care. I'll talk to you in a voice chat afterwards, but I don't want to have to listen about Apex, because I don't care. Sometimes, when I'm drunk, sometimes I'll go into random Twitch chats, like, random Twitch streamers, and then just, like, try to, like, integrate myself into the chat. And I did that once with this one VTuber. And, like, someone immediately, I was just like... Because they were playing Nier, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And, like, I ended up, like... I chatted for a bit, and, like, it turns out, like, someone bought me, like, a month-long subscription. I'm like, alright, I guess I'll keep watching. And that happened, like, 3 times, and, like, they would be, like, really, like, interested in, like, my chat stuff. I'm like, oh, I feel this is too much, and I just ended up not watching again. And then I came back, and they were playing RuneScape, and then the age gap just rapidly became apparent, and I stopped watching. Yeah, Germa is not a streamer. Germa is, like, that's the closest thing I think we get to the Truman Show. But Germa is also one that I just kind of watch the greatest hits on. The other thing is, I will never watch a random streamer play a game I enjoy. Because that is a great way to not make me happy. Especially, like, if it's clear that they're, like, under 25. Like, I don't want to watch some, like, 18 to 21-year-old VTuber play RuneScape. Like, that just sounds like a great way to ruin my night. I don't want that. Because it was just kind of, like, obscene to watch. Like, the tutorial of RuneScape, it very specifically has a big flashing arrow telling you where to go to keep advancing through Tutorial Island. But, like, she would just, like, sit there and be like, I'm lost, this is boring, where do I go? I'm like, there's a fucking flashing arrow telling you where to go, you fucking ADD zoomer. Jesus Christ, experiment for once in your life. I got, like, legitimately, like, upset during that stream, and that's when I stopped watching. Like, I like, sat there and, like, I think I, like, posted on my on my private account about it. And I was just, like, seething about it. Like, this is not healthy. I need to do anything else with my time. But then I'm not gonna say, like, all Zoomers or younger are like that, because, like, Settled, who does, like, the big, like, Swampletics, like, RuneScape content, he's, like, 22 or something. So, like, the kids can be alright, it's just... some of them definitely aren't. That's what I'm saying, Rab. I'm, like, sitting here, I'm a full-grown adult, I paid for this whiskey, drank it, and then got mad at a fucking 20-year-old girl dressed up like an anime character for not liking my favorite point-and-click game from 2001. And, like, do you know how pathetic that sounds? I think anyone would be impressed listening to that. The fact that like, admitting that on stream is, like, one of, like, I think I said for a long time you couldn't get me to admit that at gunpoint. Joke's on you, Eevee. Sell your Master Seals for money, because they all promote, if you get them to level 21. That's what I'm saying, Rab. Like, it was a really pathetic thing to, like, do. So I've now just sat and admitted that I will never watch a YouTuber play something I like if I didn't specifically subscribe to them to play that content. Oh, can you not sell them in 10? That's upsetting. I remember selling them in 9, so I figured. You know, I've elected to do things I enjoy instead of multing over teenagers on Twitch. Now, there's a lot of things that I wouldn't admit at gunpoint that I am going to admit at gunpoint now. Here we go, kids. Here's another really pathetic admission that saying out loud is like, you're gonna think less of me when I say this. Dexit was one of the big reasons I started antidepressants. Because I remember you guys saw my feed at that when Sword and Shield pre-release and how angry I was getting. I think I, like, sat there afterwards and I was, like, sitting on a porch once and, like, I had a beer and I was like, this is pathetic. And I finally just got what I needed to do to, like, get my mental state back on track. Can I admit something badass and cool? Sometimes I drink beer. I think Final Fantasy 15 also, but that was the thing with Final Fantasy 15, was that, you know, I've been waiting for that one since it was Versus 13, when it was first announced in 2006, so I'd waited a decade for that, and 2016 was already one of the worst, time periods of my life, so at the end of the year, I finally got away from all the things that were hurting me there. I'm like, well, you know what, at least I have Final Fantasy 15, and then it fucking sucked! So it's like, just like, something I'd been excited for 10 years after one of the hardest years of my life, and I just kind of sat there stunned afterwards like, oh my god. If this game came out like 3 months earlier, I think I might have done something I would have regretted. 15 is so bad. At least 16 looks cool. But I don't own a PS5, so can't do anything about that. The 15 revisionism era never was always the thing. There are people who would generally try to convince you it's good. My favorite lie about Final Fantasy 15... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People are like, oh, it's a comfy road trip with the bros. And I'm like, you mean these 4 guys with no chemistry that barely interact with each other besides Marvel quipping? The campfire scene at the end of the game was horrifically undeserved. Well, that's just... Everyone goes back and says the previous thing was good after the new thing drops. Everyone remembers the Zelda cycle. But the idea of the Zelda cycle is stupid because there are no bad Zelda games. Alright, let's do positivity now. What's some cool positive things we can talk about? I think someone's having a party. I have neighbors that every Friday night, they hang out in their shed and like invite all their friends and like drink a shitload of beer and party. Oh shit, Donnie, what'd you get? And I always want to go over there because they look like they're having so much fun, but I don't want to just like... I don't want to like pop over to like a neighbor's house and be like, hey, can I party? Ah, oh, lucky! I love Poochyena shiny. Poochyena's gonna be the first thing I hunt in Teal Mask, assuming it's there. I really want a shiny Poochiena there. I can transfer one from Go, but maybe I just want it to be my first hunt. Alright, we're up to 2298. We're almost at 500 encounters in this stream alone. At an 81.5% chance of finding the shiny by now. Oh shit, Donnie, really? That's a long-ass hunt. I did a Slugma hunt, hatching eggs there, and I went way over rate. Alright, 2300. Damn. Alright, onward we go. Hanmanata. Counting, like, all, like, the eggs I hatched across, like... Because remember I was doing, like, the Pokemon Sun streams where I was shiny hunting Slugma. Counting that, and then all the eggs I hatched in Shining Pearl, that 1 in 512 rate Slugma took me 2,800 eggs to get. So, you know, that's something. I think Ralts is just a genuinely fun line. I'm not quite sure what's up with Curlia, but, like, the rest of it's a very inspired line. And Iron Valiant coming in with it as well is just like, ah. Yeah, I mean, like, you know me. I am the one BDSP defender on the planet. The shiny charm only working on eggs and not random encounters is one of the most fucked up things the series has ever done. I genuinely don't understand the logic there. I'm not gonna take that from a neat. It was like one thing when I worked at Panera, like I was drinking a Diet Coke on my break, and like one of my coworkers was just like, man, you know, like Diet Coke's really bad for you, and I'm like, don't you smoke? And that ended that conversation really quick. But to say, I shiny hunted while pursuing my artistic career. I edit, I do things, I draw. I was never the cancer curing type. Everyone remembers the story of how I specifically chose my college degree because it requires the least amount of math. But, I mean, that's just the thing. I'm sure I could, but, yeah, Donnie, did you take my shiny luck? I'm very glad you got that, though. I would not wish a dry BDSP egg hunt on anyone. I'm interested in history. I just don't know if I could make a career out of it. History is a very fun thing as a hobby for me. That's just one of those things I don't know if I can make a career out of. I'm sure I could do a math-based job, but I'm not happy with it. I don't like, math has always been my weakest subject. I've loved history, I loved language, I loved art. But math has always been my weakest point. So the fact that I managed to finish it off as strong as I did, I was very happy leaving it there. No, I did the same thing, Donnie. I would get like 300 eggs before I'd fly to Seabreak Path to like hatch them all. And the one that ended up hatching was like one of the first ones I got, and I just hadn't hatched it. It was like one of the first ones I got, one of the last ones I hatched. Legends Arceus is a fucking stellar game. You should definitely play it. But then here's the thing as well, like, there's some math I really enjoy, like, I'm hyper fixated on Pokemon stats and, like, how they work competitively, and, like, the competitive stats in general, like, Smogon's competitive, like, statistics. I think those are really fun. I just cannot, like, for the life of me get interested outside of the context of Pokemon. I have finished the Pokemon Home Dex. I have all 1010 Pokemon. I don't have them all, like, I don't have a living dex. A lot of them are touch trades and stuff, but I did it. I got the original Color Magearna. Yeah, that's the fucked up thing. Got the Pokemon autism instead of the, you know, Rain Man autism. I don't know if I can say that because I don't have autism. That I know of. You know that there's that one test that, like, doctors give to, like, have, like, indicators if someone has autism? And, like, a certain, like, number range, like, is when, like, further testing is, like, recommended. I gave that to me and all my friends. And, like, Casey isn't at all. I'm, like, solidly in the range, and then Kish was, like, pretty high up. So, I mean, it's possible, but if I've had it, I don't think it's ever really affected me. And I don't know if I really want to get that officially diagnosed. It was like I had a doctor, when I went to the doctor to get my SSRIs, he kept, like, giving me, like, every time I would, like, mention certain things, he kind of side-eyed me a little bit, and I'm like, what's all that about? And, like, after 3 visits, he's like, has anyone ever tested you for ADHD? And I'm like, no. He's like, can I test you real quick? And he was convinced I had it. So, it would explain a lot, but I've never gotten a second opinion. I don't really know if I want one. That's one of those things that if I don't admit it to myself, it just doesn't become real. You know? I've gotten this far. I'll keep going. Finishing out the completing the Pokemon Home Dex was a lot of fun. Like, I'd play Go, I'd fire up, like, I'd transfer everything I could from Go. I'd fire up games specifically to catch things I couldn't get there. I just thought it was a really fun experience. Plus, having my original Color Magearna is so cool. Because I just assumed that was going to be an impossibility for me, because I'm like, that's a lot of Pokemon. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, I get it now, and it explains everything I did as a kid, but what good does it do for me now? Like, I already have to deal with all of that stuff, so what good is knowing that I could have fixed it done now? Yeah, what bet do I have to make to get Shiny Thundurus to come out? Is it another Xenoblade 2 stream thing? I'm sure I could stream Xenoblade 2 nowadays and not be horrific about it. Yeah, I'll put it up with my my bachelor's degree. Not only do I have an associate's of science, or a bachelor's of science, but here's a cool certificate that says my brain is differently functioning. I get it with gold trim. I'm like, make this good. Make this look cool. I'm not even gonna say that as a joke. 1 in 1,365 odds is way too high of a chance to stream Final Fantasy 15 for me. Except I could, like, rush it, I guess. That's the cool thing about 15. If you just don't bother with all the extra stuff, it's actually a really short game. Some funding would be nice. Already sucking up the government teat because I don't make enough money to pay for my own health insurance, so... What's one more bit of government dole? I don't know if I mentioned it before, Maryland changed how it's, like, welfare dental insurance works, and everything dental is, like, completely covered now. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, there are, like, bad games that are, like, funny bad or, like, interesting bad. 15 is just... I don't know how else to describe it, but slop. It's just a slop of compromise. One of my dreams is to get a shiny Ho-Oh, but what game should it be in? I mean, if you have... Whatever you have the shiny charm in, Omega Ruby or Ultra Sun would probably be easiest. Because, like, the resets are fast. And my bad luck aside here, it's still decent odds. Yeah, Thundurus, do you want some of my strawberry cheese Danish? What if that was the shiny there? I'd have to, like, mash it into my computer so we could eat it. $2,338. This is not looking like my day. Try playing copyrighted music. What, you don't like the OSR? Yeah, let's play some Final Fantasy tunes. Let's play the final boss of 15. And seeing if costing my ads gets me this. Speaking of 15 and its music, it has some great tracks. There is Theat Rhythm, like, actually, like, has, like, the final boss theme, like, be a like an actual final boss against an actual, like, boss fight against the final boss of 15. Glad you can make it, James. I had a lot of fun with you. Peace out, buddy. Sleep well. If I get the shiny 5 afterwards, I'll loll in your face. But the boss fight against the final boss of 15 in Theat Rhythm is a way more interesting and involved fight than against the final boss of 15 in 15. Like, I was watching a stream of, not a stream. The only, like, Let's Player I really watch nowadays is HC Bailey, and he was playing through 15. And I would wake up every morning at 8 a.m. just to dislike his video and then leave before it counted as a view. But I decided to watch it to see if, like, the 15 final boss was as good or bad as I remembered after Theat Rhythm. And I watched it, and he got a prompt to, like, summon Titan really early into the fight. And he's like, I'll give this a shot. And it one-shotted his first phase, and then after that, it's just the phase where you hold down circle. Where it's, like, pressed circle to awesome. And then that's the final boss. But that's all 15's combat is. You hold down circle and, like, watch the gameplay itself. There's no strategy in 15. And that's the thing. He would actually, like, go and, like, look up, like, elemental weaknesses and all that. And you know what the difference was? You beat it 5 seconds faster than just holding down circle with a standard weapon. But that's the thing. Final Fantasy 15 didn't take 10 years. When Versus 13 got retitled to 15, they scrapped that development entirely. Because if you notice, there is like every trailer from E3 2013, E3 2006 to E3 2013, not a single thing in any of those trailers besides the main characters made it into Final Fantasy 15. It's an entirely different game. So, you know, it restarts development in 2013 and then comes out in 2016. So here's your 3-year open world game.
Virum Rex, save me. Ethy.
I think all this talking's got my throat a little sore. I'll say we'll do 50 more encounters, then I'll call it a stream, because that'll get us up to 2,400 total, which means we did 600 encounters in this stream, which will be over the amount that I did to get Zekrom in its entirety. Seven-R ended up falling into that issue of I don't want to get too into a game right now because I know I'm not going to beat it before Teal Mask comes out, and then after Teal Mask comes out, I'm just never going to play whatever I was playing before it again. Because that's what happened with Chrono Cross when Pokemon Sun came out. I was getting really into Chrono Cross and got a decent way in, and then Pokemon Sun came out, and I've never gone back to Chrono Cross, and I don't want that to happen again. Because that means I need to restart Chrono Cross now. Because I definitely don't remember. The 7-hour has to wait. I've had it on my PC since it came out. On PC. I've just never actually gotten around to playing it. Actually, no, that's a lie. I waited a month because the amount of leechers on the torrent for 7R was horrific until like a month later. Rab, I love Final Fantasy. You don't understand. That's the hardest part about loving the series so much. Is that I hate Square so goddamn much now, but I love this series. Final Fantasy is just one of those, like, super comfortable games to me. I'm not stopping now. I've got another, 43 encounters to go. Yeah, I didn't know how bad Pokemon Sun was gonna be when it get. Well, no, I liked Pokemon Sun the first time I played it. It's just one of those ones where you replay it and realize that, oh, oh. But I had fun with my first run. God, I am so hyped for the new Dragon Quest monsters. Shame I have to buy it used. I thought about firing up Dragon Quest Treasures, because that one's shorter. But then I got so addicted to RuneScape that I'm positive that I'm just going to end up playing RuneScape until Teal Mask drops. I know I've talked about this in the previous one, but like, on the same level that like Pokemon takes in my brain, I don't want to keep calling it, you know, the autism, because that feels like a... That doesn't feel alright to keep saying, but the same level of obsession, I guess. Monster Hunter has ended up like taking up as much space in my brain as Pokemon has. Like, that's another one of those like super important series to me. Teal Mask drops September 13th, I think. Let me check the exact, yeah, the 13th. Which also means due to the way I have that weekend planned, I don't actually get to play it until the next night. Because what I'm going to do is, when, I think I've said this before. I think I'm kind of saying a lot of the same things that I've already been saying, but I'm going to say it again. Because I've been planning this for a long time. When Crown Tundra drops, I was visiting the cabin. And just, like, we were, like, fixing up a lot of the issues the cabin had. But I remember it was the weekend that Crown Tundra dropped, and I didn't play Sword and Shield at that point. So James was feeding me the new info about like the new Reggie stats, the horse's stats, Calyrix's stats, and it was so fun in between taking old installation out and installing new installation to get all that info. And I'm like, wow, like if I actually played it, this weekend would have been such a perfect vibe to play it on. So I've determined when the next DLC would drop, I would go up to the cabin and spend the weekend up there. So now I'm going to do that when Teal Mask drops. But because I have classes, it drops a day before I can leave because I have classes the next day. So I can't play it at all the day it comes out, so I also have to avoid Twitter entirely. Not if it survives that long, Jesus. Then I can't play it at all the next day because I have the class, and I have to drive up to the cabin, and then probably end up waiting until the next day to play it. And then I can finally experience it. It's gonna take some patience, but I think it's gonna be a very fun weekend. Be out in the middle of absolute nowhere. And playing some Teal Mask. I'm also gonna bring my laptop up so I can record more Soul Hackers audio. I've actually recorded a decent amount of that. The Soul Hackers LP is going well, gamers. Soul Hackers 2. Last Trip Hop would have been better. The issue was, like, we had all the Canadian wildfire stuff going on, and the smoke got so bad up there. And I sleep outside when I'm up there, because it's way cooler outside than it is inside. And, like, I ended up getting, like, sick from all the smoke. I ended up sleeping inside, obviously, after that. But, one night of sleeping outside with what I didn't even think was that bad of smoke, and then it was just, like, I was, like, hacking up really unfortunately colored shit. And you know the worst part about it? You figure with all that smoke, it would have killed off a lot of bugs. There were still so many goddamn bugs. So many mosquitoes, so many flies going in my face. I'm like, I'm getting smoked out. Why aren't you? That was the worst part of it. I also saw a shitload of snakes. A lot of snakes. One scared the ever-living shit out of me. And it was really funny, because it was like the world paying me back for something that I was saying. Because I've had like kind of an issue. I've been scared of bears up there a lot recently. Like I was having like nightmares about them. And then like I realized that I hadn't been seeing them at all. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna be spooked about the bears. They're just black bears. They're not grizzly bears or anything. I'm like, ultimately, I think I'm gonna be okay. I'm like, I've got nothing to fear up here. I'm gonna have a healthy respect, but I'm not gonna be scared. So I go up and I get some firewood, and not a minute later, I almost step on this giant fucking... I'm gonna sound super pathetic when I say this. A giant, like, the biggest garter snake I've ever seen. Almost stepped on it, and it, like, zipped away really quick. And, like, the scream I made, like, wasn't even funny. It just sounded like this primal fear. And I was really glad, like, everyone else was going grocery shopping, because, like, if someone heard the scream I made there, I don't think I could have lived it down. It wasn't even, like, a high-pitched funny. It was just, like, I watched, like, someone I care about die. I'm like, oh my god. Though the cool thing about the cabin is we have an outdoor shower. I had a centipede crawl on my foot, in there once. That was unfortunate. Garter snakes are, snakes are fine if I see them in advance. Like, if I go out looking for one specifically, whatever, because it's mostly just ringneck snakes around there. Ringnecks and garters. But when they spook me, I'm already scared of snakes, and when one gets the jump on me, like, I'm really not happy. My heart, like, physically hurt. And then Kimba kept trying to, like, sniff at it. I'm like, I know it's not gonna hurt if it bites you, but I really don't want to deal with this. Get away from the snake. So that was my experience. I just don't think I've ever packed dry ice in general. I already get enough ticks on me. I'm surprised I haven't gotten Lyme disease in my life with how many ticks I pull off of me on a frequent basis. I'm always out in the woods. And I'm always pulling ticks off. That's what, like, around here, like, I just can't go out into, like, certain parts of the woods in the summer now. Because, like, the grass, like, grows up a little bit, and then the ticks just ruin you. The worst I've ever had it was, I walked... when I was still with my ex, we were going fishing once. With her family. And we ended up, like, walking, like, through, like, some high grass. And, we're like, okay, sure, this will be fine. And then, you know, later we came home and took a nap. And you know those, like, little red bugs that, I don't want to say the name of because they sound like an unfortunate slur? My thighs got so completely fucked up by them that, like, even if I, like, scratched my legs to, like, the point of bleeding... Yes, I'm paying very close attention to the screen. I'm barely paying attention to what I'm saying. I'm kind of just, like, it's, like, an unfiltered stream of consciousness while I'm paying attention to the screen. And I don't have my hand on the keyboard until, after I can see it. If I reset on a shiny, I'm gonna hurt my soul. But yeah, I don't even have my hand on the keyboard until I see the Pokemon. But the point being was my thighs got so fucked up on it that I was like scratching them until I was like bleeding, and like there was still no relief. Like it was like that bad. And it was for days, and eventually I was just like, alright, there's gotta be something. So I got in the shower and aimed warm water at it. And that helped. And let me tell you how much it helped. The relief was so immediately palpable that, like, every muscle in my body relaxed. Like, immediately. And in the shower, because all of those muscles relaxed, I very nearly shit myself. Had to clench up real fast because, like, it was just like that sheer, I think, like, every, like, sphincter in my body opened. And I was like, whoa! That's, like, the funniest story I have. You know what, actually, like, we're about to hit 2400, but I have another, I was gonna say a funny scatological story, but this one, the pooping isn't what the funny part of this story. It was just, like, one of those, like, really, awkward encounters that, like, I know that, like, I blew something, but, like, it was fine. So I'll tell it as soon as we hit the big 2400, which is coming up next. This next encounter is 2400, meaning I've hunted 600 tonight. So let's take a look. No such luck. Anyway, so here's the story. This was in 2016, and I was in a class. And, tell me, you're the kind of guy who can't use public bathrooms. I've always been that kind of guy. Like, if I have to poop, like, I have to get back home. Like, I cannot... I'm better about it now, but, like, even as late as that, like, I just could not do a public toilet. And I had to go very bad. And I'm like, alright, I don't know the bus schedule this early into the year, so I have to walk the mile back to my apartment while I feel like I'm already about to shit myself. And, like, I'm rushing, but I fire up Pokemon Go, because it's brand new at that point, and I need to, like, spin all the stops to get the items, and I'm like, okay, I can do it real quick on the way. But then a Charmander pops up, which at that point, I didn't have, and I'm like, oh shit, I gotta get this Charmander. It'll be fine. And this girl comes up to me. And I'm not usually one to assume that, like, if a random, like, person talks to me, I'm like, oh yeah, they're into me. But, like, this is, like, one of the very few times that, like, I was convinced this person was, like, interested in me. And, like, she was, like, giving, like, the classic flirting signs. And, like I said, like, I'm not usually one to imagine that, like, this is happening. Be like, oh yeah, she wants me. Like, this one was pretty clear. But, like, I'm, like, telling this whole thing, and I'm trying not to, like, I'm, like, clenching super hard because I'm like, I really have to go. She's like, hey, yeah, you're playing Go too. That's really interesting. And I'm like, yeah, cool, bye. And I just like speed walk away. I'm like, yeah, that's interesting, bye. And like completely blow it. And I'm like, whatever. Like this. And it's like the one like really funny thing of me just like absolutely blowing what was positively a sure thing. Like as a joke. Like at that point, like I knew I'm just like, this is gonna be a really funny story later on, but it's gonna be worth it because of that. Never ran into her again. She might have been a fae. She might not have actually existed. That was the shit devil taunting me, tempting me to stay beyond my limits. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Well, now that we've gone over, we'll go for, because I don't want to end on a strange number. So this next one will be 2410. We'll go to 2500 and call it. So I can't. I'll have to stop telling interesting stories when I get to 2490. It was a sitcom moment. I think I had another similar sitch, but I can't remember it at the top of my head. But yeah, that was my best moment. Because there are certain times where I'll absolutely just like fuck something up just to have like a really funny story to tell later on. Like people in the server know the story of Kingdom Hearts 3D. And that whole story. I honest to God, like, can't believe I didn't get the shiny tonight. Then I still have 87 encounters to go. 86. But after 600 encounters, like, man, I'm surprised I haven't found something yet. The one where I was with my girlfriend at the time, and I was playing Kingdom Hearts 3D, but I was like getting really close to the end. And like I was like super interested in the plot and like all the gameplay stuff. I'm like, "Oh, this is really cool." And she was like texting me, and she's like, "Hey, you want to come over and bone?" And like, I'm like, "Oh, sorry, I think I'm coming down with a cold today. Like, I don't know if I can." She's like, "Oh, okay, I'm sorry." And I'm like, yeah, I just blew off sex so I can play Kingdom Hearts. That's my story. That's one of those ones that maybe you shouldn't get someone to admit with a gun to your head, but I prefer to imagine myself as like the Chad image. No, the James Kingdom Hearts 3D story is just me being a fucking loser. Now, the issue is at that point, like, I was just too into my all offense, no defense, and if I did even the basest amount of defense, I would have ruined that game. Like, there's a guard button. I'm like, whatever! Mash A and Balloonga! But alas, whatever. I am never gonna get this goddamn Thundurus. A great day to use my Rotom powers. Maybe if I activate a Rotom power, it'll visit me. There is absolutely zero doubt in my mind that James is better at Kingdom Hearts than me. Because I was getting my dick kicked in on Standard, and they one-shotted Xemnas on Proud. There is not a single doubt in my mind that James is better than me at Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, let me activate the shiny Rotom power. Maybe I should have been doing that the whole time. We'll go into the bag. Which one do you think is the shiny one, huh? Boost? Encounter? Let's use Encounter. This one is definitely gonna give me the shiny. 24-22.
Fuck. Damn it.
I wish Roto Shiny existed. Why can't I just put Herba Mystica in this game? I should be able to mod Herba Mystica into any video game. Evie? What are you talking about? What in the goddamn hell are you saying, kid? Alright, here we go. I remember there was, I was at the grocery store once, and I was looking at the cider section. And next to each other, there were two ciders. One was called Two Fingers, and the other was called Insider. And someone had put them next to each other, and I laughed really hard. Was it cheesy? Yes. Was it funny? Yes. I don't remember the last drug I have taken. Yes, I do. I drank a lot of apple pie moonshine the other night. Stop pausing my goddamn music thing. This is your stupid plot to get me to get YouTube Red. It's not gonna work. But everyone should subscribe to YouTube Red so I get more ad revenue. Crack is scary, man. I've never done it, but I know people who have. None of them are doing okay. Killed the first Megadeth drummer. It's a shame, because he was really good at drumming. Alright, 24-31. F6. I already know for a fact that the RNG is resetting each time, so I'm just getting really, really unlucky. Weirdly enough, I think meth is the only drug they didn't do in their heyday. Hello, nuisance! Haha, what if your name was genitally a nuisance and you had a very annoying penis? Rab, this is a question for you specifically. What would someone have to do for you to describe their penis as annoying? Has anyone seen that tweet where it just says, tight pussy kind of annoying, release me? That one's in the running for, I think, funniest tweets I've seen. The Beatles at Five Nights at Freddy's, huh? If it made like a really like a whistling sound upon it. Yeah, loud whistling noise. That would be annoying. It'd be like a cool party trick, but like then like everyone at the party would know every time you had to pee. It's like, look, there goes old whistle balls again. Rotom, why the fuck did you ask me that? Do you ever wish you were of legal age faster? I can't even pee loud on purpose anymore. Like, I always aim for the side of the bowl even when I'm alone. I'm at an 83.25% chance to have found this by now. This isn't even a bro moment anymore. scream. I'm imagining like that like one meme one where it's like the longest orgasm. It's like ah! Ah! But like while you're peeing. Pissing all by yourself, handsome. Do you guys remember, it was like classic era YouTube poops, where it would be something called like Sonic's Hot Sticky Fluids or like Heavy's Hot Sticky Fluids, and every time like they would like loop an animation that made it look like they were jerking off, and then they would sentence mix them to say, "I'm masturbating," and they would like do one of like their character screams, and then they'd like edit in like a splash sound effect. That's what I'm imagining with this. Like yelling, "I'm peeing!" Even younger, when I was like watching those, I'd be like, "Yeah, when I have the Home Alone to myself, I'm gonna yell that." And I still to this day don't think I've ever yelled, "I'm masturbating while Home Alone." Man, I'm in hot chick heaven. I put some Frank's Red Hot on some chicken tenders or some boneless wings. That's hot chick in heaven right there. Hey, Frank's Red Hot, I know I just sat here and talked about all of the jerking off for a little while, but you want to give me a sponsorship? I'll show your product for a free bottle of your sauce at this point. Yeah, we've got 54 more encounters before we call it. And we'll have done 700 encounters tonight. Which will have been a quarter of all the encounters I've ever done. Also, hello, Yarn. I hope your day has been good. I know we were talking about Costco on the server earlier. Aldi's is also really good if you have one near you. It's like everything's super dirt cheap. It's just, you know, the selection's like a little smaller. It's like really good for vegetables and meat. I'm just happy that Wawa acknowledges my existence. I think Wawa's the only NFT boycott that I've ever broken. Because when I'm driving like 5 hours to go see family, I need a Wawa, man. I'm not driving 5 hours without a meatball sub. Take my luck, and my eyes, and my axe. Body spray, haha. Up boats to the left, fellow Redditors. I don't know if they still are, but I think they were when I went to get it one day. So, I can't in all good consciousness say I'm still doing that boycott for Wawa. I'm keeping it up for Square Enix. I have not given them money. It also makes it very easy to not give them money when I don't own the system they're releasing all their games for. Like, it was really easy to not buy Final Fantasy 16 when buying it would literally just be throwing $70 into a hole because I don't own the PS5. I did almost buy a DualSense controller, though. They were like 20 bucks off, and I'm like, maybe this will be good as like a PC controller. I think while they were doing NFTs for like the latter half of I was about to say 2017. No, they weren't. It was like the latter half of 2021. If I had a PS5, I think the Final Fantasy VII Rebirth would probably get me to, at the very least, think about buying a used copy, but like, again, there is no reason to have a PS5. It's like, the only game on it that is still unique to it that I want is 16, and we already know that's coming to PC at some point. So it's like, what? Maybe the Demon Souls remake, but I already have that on PS Triple. So, yeah, Wawa has really good subs. And it also helps that they're pretty cheap, all things considered. You can get like a 10-inch sub for like $8. And it's like good quality meat. Like their meatballs are stellar. They have really good meatballs. I was gonna say, I don't think I'm excited for any games coming up besides the new Fantasy Life. And even that got tempered, because you know who's fucking heading the new Fantasy Life? Mighty Number 9 Inafune. He's the director for that game. And I read that, I'm like, oh, I don't know anymore. Oh yeah, I forgot. Damn it, I keep forgetting about Dragon Quest Monsters. Yes, excited for that one. But again, have to buy that one used, because it's a Square Enix title. Wawa is it's like a gas station convenience store. About to head into high school. Any advice, oh great Captain of Funny? Yeah, find the biggest teacher and hit him to establish dominance and get expelled immediately. Yeah, it's more like a convenience store gas station kind of thing that also just happens to have really good food. Usually, like, the gas station convenience stores don't have great food, but Wawa is an exception. I go to Wawa just for the food. I don't even pump up on gas if I don't have to. Helps that gas is really fucking expensive again. Yeah, go for the shins. I was gonna say something like, and then realize that like I should probably not be telling a student to do violent things in school before I get fucking indicted. It was a joke, everyone. It was a joke. It was I'm being stupid. Yeah, go to class, do your homework, don't do drugs, pay attention in class. Don't worry about dating. Nothing's gonna last. Get smart, rose art, and eat. But pack your own lunches, because school lunches don't tend to be very good. Do the opposite fault. Rab! Yeah, good advice. Drop out of school, knock up your girlfriend. Get a job at Wawa. Yeah, Jersey Mike's does the sub on a tub. You can kind of do that with Wawa too, I think. Like, Mom can't really eat a whole lot nowadays because she had surgery. And, right, please delete that. I don't think we can have that here. So I just get her meatballs because it's that way she's not like wasting her stomach space on bread. But that way she's still getting like all the protein and meat. And she loves it. Thank you, buddy. I mean your gym teacher with the brick. Get rid of that one. When I was in school, there was this thing where a teacher ended up like picking up a desk and throwing it at one of the kids, and then he got fired. Oh, I guess it popped up twice for me. Let me remove that. Oh yeah, why is that? It's not removing it. You already... Weird, why is it pop... Okay, that's odd. I was going to do... It's weird, because it's still showing up on my screen. I guess YouTube platform must have glitched. We, for a senior prank one year, I wanted to buy a bunch of baby doll heads and nail them to the trees outside of the school. and then in doing so learned that no one just sells baby doll heads. I thought it would have been like a really like macabre way to do it, and like no one really gets hurt by it. But I'd have to buy full baby dolls and then behead them, and then I think I might get I think the cops might come to my house for that. Also, baby dolls are really expensive. So I never did that. Though what someone ended up doing was they put a bunch of cinder blocks at like the entrance of the the bus lane. They put a bunch of cinder blocks down with quick dry and cement, and they almost it almost ended up like ruining the school for a day. They found it like just before like the quick dry cement like really set in, so it took some doing, but they got them all off. I think there's a difference between like throwing a chair in general and like specifically yeeting it at a kid with the intent to harm. I think that's what got my teacher in trouble. Yeah, the full baby doll didn't really seem like it would be as funny as just the heads. But either way, it was a lot of money for a prank, and I didn't have a source of income at that point. Alright, that's 2481, so we're down to the last 18. Yeah, the kid should have went full Ultra Instinct. That was the issue. Ultra Instinct didn't exist at that point. Battle of Gods didn't even exist. Actually, I don't think Dragon Ball Evolution had come out by that point. Yeah, let's do a stream of the PSP Dragon Ball Evolution game. Actually, that sounds hilarious. I think I'm gonna do that next. It's a fighting game, isn't it? Though I'm not good at those. I'm gonna do it anyway. Yeah, let's all have a Comic Fire fan server. Evie. Let's all have a Comic Fire fan server meetup. Well, that doesn't exist anymore. Let's have a Drill Pirates fan server meetup. And just, like, all throw folding chairs at each other. The strongest Saiyan transformation is still SSJ4 in my eyes. I love Super Saiyan 4. It's really cool. At least, I feel like it was, like, kind of canonized. Because, like, in Broly's transformation in the Super movie... yeah, but were you bringing chairs to throw at each other? Broly's transformation in the Super movie kind of felt like he was going SS4. Yeah, you should all bring, like, drills and just, like, hurt each other with them. Like, don't even necessarily drill them into his skin, just, like, whack each other with the drills. Oh, boy. I think we're not bringing shit. You know what, Rab? You're right. I'm sorry. Just 700 regular Thundurus has made me a little stupid, didn't it? Gonna give Doggo a lobotomy. What's the difference? Alright, 2490. We're down to the last 10. Alright, let's count it on down. 10! A labotomy? Connect two drills with the... Evie, that's called docking. I don't know if you can... I mean, you could probably put it in, like, your suitcase, but I don't think you could put it in your carry-on. No, Trev. It's been 692 encounters tonight. I haven't found a shiny yet. And we tested it to make sure the RNG was refreshing. I've just gone almost 2,500 Thunduruses without finding a shiny, at 1 in 1,365 odds. So I have had an 84% chance to find it. 2494. This is getting sad. Yeah, if you go into first class, they let you bring blunderbusses. Oh shit, Citra Crash. God, if that was the shiny and Citra crashed, I would have fucking screamed. Oh my god. Wow. I have to close Citra here. I think I would have broken. Okay. I think that would have killed me as an individual. I think I legitimately would have been upset. Now, to be fair, every game you just saw on Citra, I do own physically. Actually, hold up, let me open my Citra games real quick. Yeah, the only game I have on my Citra that I don't own physically is Dragon Quest Monsters 3 Joker Professional. That's the only one on here that I don't already own. That's the first time I've ever had Citra crash on me. Weird. I guess after, like 600 resets. Got a little memory leakage. Alright, down to the last 3. $24.98. $24.99. $2,500. I did 700 encounters tonight with no luck. Time to update the Twitter thread. Oh, yeah. Figured the stream would be over by now, so I set an alarm so I remember to get my usual stream settings back up. Okay. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to call it a stream for now and then go back just to hunting in my spare time. Well, thanks for joining me. That made 700 soft resets significantly easier to do. It's funny, but also very sad. I'm wicked fucking dry on this now. And now that I know it's the RNG's resetting, I know that it really is just really bad luck and not actual something fucking up, so... whatever. Well, thank you so very much for watching. I hope you guys had fun, with whatever you did. Hope you enjoyed the nice RuneScape soundtrack in the background. It's Friday night. Have yourselves a wonderful weekend. And don't forget, I'm watching you! I actually had a lot of fun with this. This made 700 ones really, like... I didn't actually know if, like, a big shiny hunting stream like this would actually be, like, fun for me to do, because I usually, like, watch things while I do this. But, I actually had a lot of fun. You guys made this, very tolerable for me. So, oh well. we'll try again in the future, and I'll keep trying on my own. So thank you so very much for watching. Have yourselves a wonderful day, and I will be back with Dragon Ball Evolution on the PSP. Take care. Bye. Yeah, my heart didn't explode from that monster.